Live from Wrigley Field on a mild and breezy Wednesday afternoon, it's time for Cubs on Deck here on Comcast Sportsnet. And this afternoon, the suddenly hot Cubs will try to keep the train rolling. They'll go for their fourth straight win. It's Game 2 of this series against Milwaukee. And great to have you with us. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you today. Battle of right-handers today. Ben Sheets for the Brewers and Kerry Wood returning from the disabled list for the Cubs. And just try to keep it rolling. And the Cubs pitching has been very, very good lately.
It's amazing what good pitching, good defense, and timely hitting will do for the attitude of the ball clubs. The Cubs really riding a high right now.
Well, 25 consecutive scoreless innings for the pitching staff. Let's check out the highlights from last night's 2-0 win in Game 1 of this series. We'll start with the offense. Jerry Hairston with an RBI single in the second inning. Off the left-hander Doug Davis, Aramis Ramirez scoring, making it 1-0. Really, it's all the Cubs pitchers would need. But for good measure, Derek Lee, and they want him to be the MVP. What a year he's having. A home run to left. That made the score 2-0, his 23rd home run of the year. But the story again last night, pitching. Carlos Zambrano coming off 3 rough starts, but he was on his game last night.
Yeah, and really kind of changed his approach to these Brewers hitters. Threw a lot of four-seam fastballs, a lot of sliders up in Milwaukee in his last outing, probably his worst outing of his career. A lot of sinkers that he elevated in the zone. The Brewers took advantage of that, so Carlos came out with a better game plan last night.
And he got some help from his defense as well. Second inning, Lyle Overbay busted his bat and grounds into the 4-6-3 double play. How about another 4-6-3, Brady Clark? Zambrano getting some help there. 8th inning, this was a big play. Derek Lee, first and second, nobody out. Spinning, throwing, and getting the lead runner at third base. Now into the 9th inning, Carlos Lee bouncing out to Nathy Perez to end the ball game as Ryan Dempster picks up his 12th consecutive save, and again 25 consecutive scoreless innings. Just 6 hits allowed over that stretch by Cubs pitchers.
Well, I'll tell you, the defense feels much more relaxed. They know the pitchers are going to be around the plate. They're on their toes, ready to make the plays, and the offense knows they don't have to score 8 runs to win a ball game.
You're probably thinking, well, you showed the defense, but you're missing a pretty big play. Well, we didn't forget about it. In fact, Corey Patterson's double play, and what a catch in the 8th inning. The just for men hair color rejuvenating play.
Corey Patterson flashing that brilliant speed out there defensively, runs the ball down. A strong throw back into Nathy Perez, making like Derek Lee. And Carlos loves that double play.
Just for men hair color targets only the gray for a natural look. So a rough night at the plate for Corey Patterson, but the play of the game defensively for sure. Well, everybody wondered what the Cubs would do. They had to make a roster move today to activate Kerry Wood. With more on that situation, Mitch Robinson on the field.
Thanks a lot, Len. And yes, to make room for Kerry Wood to start today, 34-year-old righty, former closer Joe Borowski's been released. Now, he's only pitched in 11 innings this season, started the year on the DL with the fractured ulna he suffered in spring training. In the 11 innings, 11 strikeouts allowed, 5 homers, and a 6.55 ERA. The move came as no surprise to Joe.
I'm disappointed, but, I mean, the writing was on the wall. I knew it was coming. So I kind of had, the last 10 days, I kind of had a chance to let it all sink in, you know. You never want to see it happen. It's unfortunate. But baseball's a game of change, you know. You're here one day and gone the next. It's unfortunate, but that's how it works. That's the unfortunate thing, is the timing of it stinks. Because the last 2 times out, I've kind of turned that corner, so to speak, and with the way I've been feeling, not only physically but mentally when I go out there, is just exactly how I felt 2 years ago. And the unfortunate thing is, you know, my velocity was back up where I wanted to. I was hitting 91, and I was putting the ball I wanted to. My slider was nasty, but unfortunately, it's the timing of it. And who knows, if we had another 2 weeks to this, we might not even be talking about this. But hey, everything happens for a reason.
The deciding factor was we had to make a move, and you know, couldn't go with 13. You know, we needed you know, our left-handers are doing pretty good. Sergio was doing good. Wirtz is doing pretty good, and this came down that, you know, Joe was actually kind of number 13, and so the velocity's gotten back up the last 2 starts. Certainly, Joe's not through. I think he's you know, very capable of helping somebody. Just came to a point where he couldn't carry another pitcher.
As far as Joe's concerned, a native of New Jersey, there are at least 3 ball clubs on the East Coast that need bullpen help. His agent is already making phone calls. Now, Kerry Wood making his first start in 2 months since going down with a sore shoulder. He's coming off 3 minor league rehab starts, his last one in which he went over 86 pitches and felt no shoulder pain.
Well, I don't know if there's less speculation because we saw Mark's starts. We didn't see Kerry's. We just heard about Kerry's. I mean, we saw Mark's simulated games. You can get a better reading with your own eyes than you can, with somebody else's. But, we trust our guys down there. They said that Kerry was throwing the ball well. Ball's coming out of his hand good, so we expect quality.
Unlike Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood's not expected to be on much of a pitch count since he had the minor league rehab starts. Pryor, of course, was just starting after being on the DL and not getting any rehab. All right, Len, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Mitch. And Kerry Wood, who had a 2.84 ERA in those 3 minor league rehab starts, getting ready to work today. Bob's Lexus Keys to the Game coming up.
21st Century Insurance saves new customers an average of $300. And even though you're saving money, 21st gives you a lot more than the other guys, like 24/7 customer service, towing, and roadside assistance at no charge. And 21st has accident and ticket forgiveness programs for loyal customers. So let's recap. Less money, more features. Who would you rather drive with? 21st Century Insurance. Good people to call. Call today at 1-800-211-SAVE.
Come on, Joe, what's cooking in the kitchen? Yeah.
Sirloin steak and shrimp. Juicy top sirloin steak served with your choice of shrimp for only $11.99. Choose from scampi seared, coconut crusted, teriyaki grilled, or golden fried. Only Joe's does steak and shrimp for $11.99. It's steak and shrimp crazy at Joe's Crab Shack. Hurry, create your own steak and shrimp combo for only $11.99.
Gotta go eat at Joe's. It's a wonderful world. I'm just walking on air. Talk of heaven on earth. I've got more than my share. Haven't got a care.
Rico dependability moves your ideas forward.
It's a wonderful
Changes too.
loving wonderful you.
It's all about freedom to see clearly, to be at the top of your sport, the top of your profession, at the top of the world. It's freedom brought to you by Kraft Laser Vision Correction. No one can match the Kraft Eye Institute in laser vision experience or results. Why trust your eyes to anyone else? The Kraft Eye Institute. It's freedom to see, to do, to be your best. Call Kraft today and see how far freedom can take you.
Lots has changed over 4 generations, but one thing that's remained the same is the great taste of Rosati's Pizza. For 40 years, the Rosati family's secret recipes have kept people coming back for more. Authentic pizzas are made by hand, always with the freshest homemade sauce and ingredients. Deep dish, thin crust, there's something for everyone. Or dive into the cheap, delicious Italian beef with melted mozzarella. Rosati's Pizza, a tradition of quality for 4 generations. Check your local Yellow Pages to find the Rosati's Pizza location nearest you.
Well, Cubs manager Dusty Baker signing an autograph for Mad About You star Paul Reiser, who will throw out the first pitch. He'll sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game a little bit later today, and we're getting set for the middle game of this 3-game series. The Cubs hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. And Bob, time for the Lexus Keys to the Game.
We'll keep it very simple. Keep the zeros coming. When the starting pitching is as good as they've been lately, if the other team doesn't score, you got a real good chance to win. Continue to make the plays defensively and take advantage of your opportunities against Ben Sheets. He's a guy that likes to challenge with his fastball.
And the starting pitchers for today, Ben Sheets will make his 2nd consecutive start against the Cubs. He gave up 6 runs his last time out, got a no decision. And, of course, Kerry Wood coming off the DL after that strained shoulder. First start in about 2 months.
Everybody's looking forward to see what Kerry Wood has in the tank today. Ben Sheets gave up a couple of home runs to Derek Lee in that game in Milwaukee. Hopefully more of the same today.
And the wind slightly blowing in today, and we're getting set for baseball, the middle game of this 3-game series, as the Cubs go for their 4th straight victory. We'll have the Brewers and Cubs coming up next.
Come on, Joe, what's cooking in the kitchen? Yeah.
Sirloin sirloin steak and shrimp. Juicy top sirloin steak served with your choice of shrimp for only $11.99. Choose from scampi seared, coconut crusted, teriyaki grilled, or golden fried. Only Joe's does steak and shrimp for $11.99. It's steak and shrimp crazy at Joe's Crab Shack. Hurry, create your own steak and shrimp combo for only $11.99.
Gotta go eat at Joe's.
Introducing a breakthrough in dial-up access that lets you surf so fast you'll swear it's broadband. Net Zero High-Speed 3G, the third generation of internet access.
21st Century Insurance saves new customers an average of $300. And even though you're saving money, 21st gives you a lot more than the other guys, like 24/7 customer service, towing, and roadside assistance at no charge. And 21st has accident and ticket forgiveness programs for loyal customers. So let's recap. Less money, more features. Who would you rather drive with? 21st Century Insurance. Good people to call. Call today at 1-800-211-SAVE.
Last week on Comcast Sportsnet, if you just got the scores, you didn't get the whole picture.
We've kind of kept our heads above water. Now we bringing back two guys that are #1 starters, and now we're ready to make our move.
To leave the NFL to go to college, it had to be a unique situation. And any time you have an opportunity to go back and work at your alma mater, you know, it's something special.
We'll just we'll stay with what we got, and ultimately, if we can get it done with this group of guys, nothing will please me more.
Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet. Saturday, the world's hottest game heats up on Comcast Sportsnet. The Chicago Fire try to keep pace in the Eastern Conference standings when they head west for a battle against Chivas USA. Fire Soccer Saturday night at 9. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi, Pat Boyle. Coming up Wednesday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll recap Kerry Wood's return to the Cubs. Plus, we'll have a preview from Detroit as Brandon McCarthy takes to the hill against the Tigers. All that's coming up on Chicago Tribune Live.
Recognizing higher standards, Bank of America presents the National League Player of the Week.
Braves rookie Kelly Johnson led the National League with 11 RBI, 3 home runs, and batted .417.
Kelly Johnson gets his first career grand slam.
Bank of America, higher standards.
In what began as a season of hope, the Cubs' chances at one point faded with a myriad of injuries. But Greg Maddux has been Mr. Reliable, anchoring a changing rotation. Now Pryor is back, and Zambrano has regained his stuff. Today we get Kerry Wood. Wood makes his return. Next. Live at Wrigley Field for Chicago Cubs baseball today here on Comcast Sportsnet. And the Cubs are coming off back-to-back shutouts. They have not allowed a run in 25 consecutive innings. And today they'll welcome back Kerry Wood from the disabled list. It'll be his first start in 2 months. Cubs host the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 2 of this series. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. 2-0 the final last night. Carlos Zambrano, Ryan Dempster were tremendous in the last 3 starters. Maddux, Pryor, and Zambrano really set things up for Kerry Wood today.
Boy, if you could script it, this is exactly what Dusty Baker, Larry Rothschild, and the rest of the Cubs had in mind. Get your starters deep into the ball game with an opportunity to win the game. You see what the starters have done in their last 3 starts, but also it allows Dusty to use his relievers in a manner in which they can best have success. And the guys that have come in out of the bullpen behind these starters have done an outstanding job as well.
And in particular, Ryan Dempster blew his first save of the year, got the win, in fact, after he blew that save, but he has saved 12 straight since that first opportunity. Let's check out the starters today. A couple of right-handers. Ben Sheets will pitch for Milwaukee, his second straight start against the Cubs. And again, Kerry Wood, everybody excited about his return today.
Nobody more so than Kerry Wood himself. You know he's been chomping at the bit to get back and contribute to this team. And Ben Sheets, we saw him in Milwaukee last week, a guy that likes to challenge with his heater. He will make mistakes. You see the 3-6 record. He will strike out a lot of batters.
So we're getting set for the first pitch. We'll have it for you here in a couple of minutes. But first, Wayne Messer Messmer with our national
And now,
anthem.
ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, we ask that you all please rise and kindly remove your caps and join along with me, Chicago Cubs public address announcer Wayne Messmer, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Wrigley Field Lowry organ in a singing and playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer today. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Your local area Lexus dealer in the 2006 GS. Aflac, ask about it at work. Toyota, choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through. Your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. Check out our new models at lincolnmercury.com. Midas, trust the Midas touch. Corona, miles away from the ordinary. And by Southwest Airlines, non-stop service to over 59 destinations. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Every great story starts with a great adventure. Introducing the Nissan Pathfinder with a 270 horsepower engine, 3-row seating for 7, GPS navigation and DVD entertainment, and more off-road capability than ever before. Because you can't talk about the mountaintop unless you actually see the mountaintop. Tell better stories. The 7-passenger, 270 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder. Lease the 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder at this special introductory rate.
When beer starts out this cold, it ends up this refreshing. Coors Light.
Truth is, Ford 500 and Ford Freestyle both have best-in-class features. 500 and Freestyle both have a 5-star safety rating. So come in and compare. Domestic or foreign, rebates or employee plans. Get $1,000 cash back or 1-9 financing for 60 months on Ford 500 and $1,000 cash back or 0 for 60 on Ford Freestyle. The truth is, $1,000 cash back or limited term Ford credit financing won't last long. Get the whole truth only at your local Ford store.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. A bit cooler today. It still is warm here on the north side, but fans getting some sun out in the bleachers as the Cubs take the field, looking for their 4th consecutive win. And great to see number 34 on the hill once again. 28-year-old Kerry Wood In fact, he turned 28 on the 16th of this month. And he'll make his 7th start of the year, his first start since April 30th at Houston. On the disabled list the last 2 months with a strained throwing shoulder, but he's back on the mound today. Let's check out the Milwaukee Brewers Southwest starting lineup. Just 3 hits, no runs last night for Ned Yost's club. Clark, Weeks, and Hall. Bill Hall got ejected for the first time in his big league career last night. Carlos Lee in left. Overbay at first, Jenkins in right, J.J. Hardy, the rookie shortstop, at 7. Chad Moeller is the personal catcher for Ben Sheets.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Rico. Hollinsworth getting a start in left field today. Patterson in center, Burnitz in right. Ramirez, Perez, Todd Walker back in there against the right-handed pitcher at second base. Derek Lee at first, and Michael Barrett behind the plate for one of the most anticipated starts of the season. Kerry Wood's return to the major leagues. You see his numbers in the 5 starts earlier this season. The one number at the bottom, left-handed hitters at a .310 average against him in those first 5 starts. All 5 home runs that he gave up were 2 left-handed hitters. Only 2 lefties in the Brewers lineup today.
So he's taking his final warm-up tosses as the Cubs come into this one. 39 and 36, 8.5 behind the Cardinals in the National League Central. They're in second place. Milwaukee 13 games out in third place, 35 and 41. Well, we are set today. It'll be Brady Clark to lead it off against Wood. Cubs are 20 and 17 at home. And it's been a rough go of it on the road for Milwaukee. The Brewers are 14 and 26 away from Miller Park.
It's a key at bat in the ball game for obvious reasons, the leadoff hitter, but especially with Brady Clark and his numbers this season. Good start, strike 1.
95 on the fastball for strike 1.
Brady Clark has 100 hits on the season. 30 of those have come in the first inning. He scored 55 runs on the season. 36% of those have come in the first inning.
Backhanded by Lee. He'll underhand to Wood, and there is out number 1. The Geico quote, Kerry Wood on being on the DL, watching our games at the AAA clubhouse in Nashville makes you want to get back, makes you want to work harder. I did what I had to do, got some good work accomplished, and I felt good. We saw Mark Pryor, who did not go out on a minor league rehab assignment, throw 71 pitches in his first start back on Sunday. Kerry Wood threw 84 in his last rehab start, so we could see him in the 85 to 95 range today, depending on how things are going. Strike 1 on Ricky Weeks.
Well, Dusty said there were really no pitch count limitations on Kerry Wood. Obviously, they're not going to run up a ridiculous pitch count, but as long as he's effective, as long as he feels good, they feel with this three rehab assignments that he's ready to go out there, take the ball, and do what he has to do to win a game.
Well, it feels cooler today. Officially, the game time temperature 86. We're getting that lake breeze today. Feels pretty good. Fouled back. 96 that time on the heater. Now the wind out of the northeast at 12. So first start after time on the disabled list, and pretty good numbers. We talked about Mark Pryor is not allowed a run in his starts coming off the disabled list. And Burnett's out in right. Will make the catch. And at this point with a wind by, the ball's not going to carry today.
Not going to carry well, especially to center field, right center, and straight away right field. You may get one out of here to left field. Saw Derek Lee with his towering home run to left last night. The wind blowing a little bit harder today, but you're really going to have to step on a fly ball to get it out of here today.
Zambrano 8 shutout innings, 3 hits. And getting the win, he's back over 500 at 5-4.
We think Kerry's got a little adrenaline flowing right now. Jeez.
Just a little.
He's in the high 90s with every fastball.
Fouled back by Hall, who was ejected in the 7th inning, took a called third strike, was very upset at the call by Mike DeMuro, who was behind the plate. DeMuro at third base today, and Hall earning his first major league ejection. So I guess you've really finally arrived when you get kicked out for the first time.
Some guys take a little longer than others. And, you know, for Billy Hall, a lesson to be learned. There is a way to argue balls and strikes with an umpire and stay in a game, but, you know, tossing your bat in the air is not one of them.
Swing and a miss.
Well, I think this is a real good indicator of the kind of heater Kerry Wood has. Obviously, the velocity's there. We've seen that on the radar gun readings, but yeah, Bill Hall was just crushing fastballs from the middle of the plate up in Milwaukee last week. Couldn't catch up to a couple here in this sequence. Very defensive swing there at a fastball away. 96 miles an hour.
We saw Zambrano effectively use his slider quite a bit last night against a team that probably was expecting more fastballs. But you can be even looking for a fastball, but if it's good enough, you still might not be able to make good contact with it. And that's something we've discussed in the past about, you know, what a team's weakness is, what your strength is. And even if a team is looking for fastballs, if it's working for you, continue to throw it. Another 2-2, and he blew that one right by Bill Hall at 97. Great start for Wood. Cubs coming up.
Chevy's proud to be the #1 selling passenger car brand. And we also have the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. We've always broken the rules. Now we're rewriting them. Introducing for the first time ever, the Chevy Employee Discount for everyone. You pay what we pay, not a cent more. Now get an 05 Malibu base sedan for $15,692 at participating dealers only. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
For a good.
It's really worthwhile.
Animals also possess several.
Burnett's deep to center field. This ball is way back. Out of here. Jeremy Burnett with a home run.
Oh, yeah. Are you fan enough? Nobody does baseball better than Comcast Sportsnet. Catch the Cubs all season long. More games, more news, more passion.
Get sports news the way you like it on Comcast Sportsnet. Our team covers your teams morning, noon, and night. We take you inside the Chicago sports scene. Whether it's in-depth interviews, reactions in the locker room, the biggest news coming from practice, or the stories you haven't heard about, our crew brings it all home to you before, during, or after the game. When you want to get the latest news on Chicago sports, turn to Comcast Sportsnet. More news, more passion.
You're watching Chevy Baseball Wednesday on Comcast Sportsnet.
What a first inning for Kerry Wood. 13 pitches through 10 for strikes. Last pitch at 97. Yeah, we'll miss you, Joe Bo. I'll tell you something. Joe Borowski, as classy as you could possibly be for a guy who just was cut from the roster, designated for assignment, making room for Kerry Wood. He says, I have nothing negative to say about this organization. He said, I love the Cubs organization, everybody in it. It's unfortunate, but it's baseball, and hopefully Joe will find another big league job here very soon. And Ben Sheets pitching to Corey Patterson. That's a strike.
And I think his comments were right on the mark. If there were a couple weeks to play with here to give him an opportunity to continue to build arm strength, have a few more outings, build on the success that he's had in his last couple of outings, I think the situation may have been completely different. But because of circumstances, Dusty said it, you just couldn't afford to carry 13 pitchers right now. And I agree with you 100%. I think Joe's going to land on his feet, and he deserves to.
Popped up by Patterson. Sheets wondering who's going to catch it. And a collision. And it looks like Bill Hall took the worst of it. I believe it was Overbay to make the catch, but that was a nasty collision. Ben Sheets was looking up saying, who wants it? And again, normally the pitcher evacuates. But Bill Hall is not right. He looks like he's injured.
The pitcher, you prefer not to have him handle a pop-up in the middle of the infield, and that's going to be an extremely tough play for the catcher coming out from behind home plate. You see Hall waving his arms. Overbay's mouth is open, making a call. The one job a pitcher has on that play, and the catcher as well, is to call somebody off of that play. But apparently Overbay and Hall both felt they were the right guy to make the play. Overbay was calling verbally. Hall was waving physically, but Overbay the guy to make the catch. It looks like Hall's going to be all right. Yeah, pitcher has to play traffic cop in a situation like that. You really have nothing else to do, so call one guy to make the catch, and if necessary, push the other guy out of the way to allow that guy to make the catch.
So Hall will stay in, and Afi Perez will bat with one out. Sheets got a no decision against the Cubs in Milwaukee Thursday, 6 2/3. That ball hit very well, but again, the wind's not going to help it today, and Jenkins will run it down. So we've seen Patterson and Perez. Derek Lee coming up after him. Jeremy Burnitz batting cleanup. Ramirez batting fifth at 300. Todd Walker in the sixth hole. Hollinsworth, Barrett, and Wood rounded out.
And the Brewers defensively, Lee, Clark, Jenkins across the outfield. Hall moves over to third base today, gives way for J.J. Hardy at short. Weeks at second, Overbay at first, and Chad Moeller, the personal catcher, for Ben Sheets.
Now, he gave up 2 home runs to Derek Lee in Milwaukee on Thursday. And Derek with another one.
Towering home run in that ball game last night. There was some question whether he had enough to get it out of here, but fortunately very little wind blowing in that game last night.
Yeah, he wasn't sure he had gotten all of it. So I didn't hit it very well. Kind of jammed me a little bit, but it got out. That's a strike.
Pretty nice when your jam shots go 390 feet.
Yeah. 5 home runs among his 10 career hits against Ben Sheets. 17 career home runs for Derek Lee against Milwaukee. Over the mound, and that's the second baseman, Weeks, playing on the shortstop side of the bag. And 1, 2, 3. Well, the Cubs in the first inning after 1. No score.
At Geico.com, you can handle all your car insurance needs online. It's so easy, a caveman could do it.
Seriously, we apologize. We had no idea you guys were still around.
Yeah, next time maybe do a little research.
Gentlemen, are we ready to order?
I'll have the roast duck with the mango salsa. I don't have much of an appetite, thank you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Hyundai Elantra will win you over. Loaded with standard features like dual front and front side impact airbags, it's the winner of Strategic Vision's 2004 Total Value Award. And Hyundai's quality lets us offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. The Hyundai Elantra. Come test drive yours starting at $13,194. And $1,800 less than a Honda Civic LX when comparably equipped. So get to Hyundai today. Get a 2005 Elantra with up to $1,500 cash back or 0% APR at your local Hyundai dealer.
Friday, Derek Lee and the Cubs are ready for a slugfest at the friendly confines when they host the Washington Nationals, followed by Cubs postgame live. Cubs Nationals Friday at 1. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet.
I'm Pat Boyle. Coming up Wednesday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll recap Kerry Wood's return to the Cubs. Plus, we'll have a preview from Detroit as Brandon McCarthy takes to the hill against the Tigers. All that's coming up on Chicago Tribune Live.
No score, top of the second. Kerry Wood struck out one, retired all three men he faced in the first inning. Now Carlos Lee looking at strike one. Lee 10 for 20 against Wood. Quiet night last night, 0 for 3 with a walk. Did reach on an error in the 7th inning. And that one's fouled off. Kerry Wood coming off the DL, his 6th career stint on the disabled list. Driven foul, left side. Brewers 12th in the National League and runs 6th in home runs. Coming in is Ramirez. A good throw to erase Lee.
Much was made about Kerry Wood going out on the rehab assignment and altering his mechanics. He said you wouldn't be able to see the difference, and after looking at this, I believe him. On the left was opening day, on the right is today. And I mean, unless you break this down frame by frame, it's really hard to see any difference in the two deliveries. Now, it should be pointed out that in baseball, when we talk about making adjustments, we're not talking about altering your stride by a foot or moving from one side of the rubber to the other. Generally, it's infinitesimal changes, maybe a fraction of an inch in his landing spot, not throwing across his body quite as much. But certainly the delivery looks very similar to what we saw earlier this year.
Pop foul by Overbay. And this one out of play. And the bottom line for Kerry, just trying to stay smooth and consistent.
Just repeat his delivery. And so far I've been really keeping a close eye on Michael Barrett and where he's setting up, where he's calling for pitches, and Kerry's ability to put the ball in those locations. And so far, he's been able to do that.
Called strike 3. 5 up, 5 down.
Perfect example right here. Michael Barrett calls for a backdoor breaking ball. Kerry starts it off the plate away and drops it right in there on the outside corner to Lyle Overbay. Really hitting his spots well here in the early going.
One career home run, but a 172 average for Jeff Jenkins against Wood. Mark Carlson is calling balls and strikes today. Joliet native. Big swing and a miss. Wood's first start of the season was in the home opener against Milwaukee. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. He got a no decision. And Wood has struck out Jeff Jenkins more than any other hitter he's faced, 15 times. The wind and the 1-2, that's outside.
I think he just lost the grip on that backdoor breaking ball right there. Was trying to come back with the same pitch that they got Overbay for strike 3, but just lost the handle.
And he strikes him out yet again. 3 Ks and no base runners through 2 for Kerry Wood. 0-0.
This telecast of Cubs baseball is brought to you by Felco, Chicagoland's replacement specialist.
Final question. A 6-letter word for free installation.
Get free installation at Feldco. Save thousands on top quality Feldco replacement windows with no payments until winter. Get Feldco quality and installed free.
It's an easy call. Feldco's the right answer.
Free installation ends July 31st. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Hey, Cubs fans, with Summer Road Construction, public transportation is a quick, convenient way to get you to the game. Take the train or bus, and the CTA takes you right to the gates of Wrigley Field. And remember, if you do drive, come early, enjoy batting practice, and take advantage of the early bird discount.
We designed it to move, and it became the most powerful car in its class. We designed it to do most everything, and it became the best-selling car in its class. We designed it for the driver, and in its first year, it won Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award. And now they've been designed for everyone. Introducing GM employee pricing on every 2005 Pontiac.
During the Pontiac Employee Discount for Everyone event, non-GM owners buy a new Vibe starting at $14,138. You pay what we pay, not a cent more.
Introducing a breakthrough in dial-up access that lets you surf so fast you'll swear it's broadband. Net Zero High-Speed 3G, the third generation of internet access.
Today's Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids are Dylan Buckwhites of Buffalo Grill, Brooke Carroll of Mendota. And if you want to be a Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid, send your name, age, address, phone number, gender, and a parent or guardian signature to WGN Radio. Winners are selected at random. The deadline to enter, August 29th. Good luck. And ball one on Jeremy Burnett's batting cleanup today. Snapped an 0 for 18 last night. Single to center in his final at bat in the 7th inning. Cubs had just 4 hits last night. And again, the 2 runs all Zambrano and Dempster needed. It's 1-1 from Sheets. In the air to right. Hauled in by Jenkins. Receive in-game alerts, scores, breaking news, and more instantly on your mobile phone for only $3.99 per month. Simply text the word Cubs to 65246 or MLB Go from your mobile phone. Now Aramis Ramirez getting 400 his last 30 games. And he takes a strike. He charged Ben Sheets when he was a Pirate after being hit by a pitch in Milwaukee in a game in April of 2002. Ended up getting suspended for 7 games, citing that brawl. And Aramis suffered a sprained right ankle in that brawl. It actually bothered him for the rest of that season. So some history between these two guys, but that was a long time ago. Todd Walker. Ninth career start for Ben Sheets here at Wrigley Field. 3-4 with a .485 earned run average here in this ball. Pitchers dominated last night, and no base runners early on here today. Here comes an 0-2, and that is high. Yeah, Ben Sheets talking about Wrigley Field. He said, I don't really like this place. I don't like the mound because it's a great atmosphere. That's good, but I don't like the rest of it. Seems like it's never big enough for me to pitch. Now the wind is blowing in, but boy, when it is blowing out, visiting pitchers hate this place.
I've told the story before. When the visiting team bus gets here, the first thing the pitchers do is run up one of the tunnels to see which way the flags are blowing to determine whether they're able to pitch that day or not. Sometimes that rotator cuff tends to get a little tender when the flags are blowing out.
Sheets finds the sign he wants from Moeller, and it's full. Oh, buddy of Todd Walker's here watching batting practice. Brian Bateman, who's on the PGA Tour. They went to LSU together. Bateman will be participating in the Western Open this weekend, which starts tomorrow at Cog Hill. high in the air down the right field line, but he pulled it foul.
I've never heard another visiting pitcher complain about the mound, however, at Wrigley Field. Most pitchers like to throw off of this mound. Of course, the Cubs pitching staff kind of tailors it to their needs, but most visiting pitchers come in here and they enjoy pitching off the mound here at Wrigley Field. They don't always enjoy warming up in that visitor's bullpen down the right field line because of all the assistance they get from the fans down there.
Good at bat for Todd Walker. Finds the alley. And it'll be a double. A 9-pitch at bat and a 3-2. Smokes a double to left center.
Well, that'll be a key in the ball game today as well. Which team can run up a higher pitch count earlier? Not quite as hot as we anticipated, but Todd Walker staying on a hanging breaking ball, driving it into the gap in left center. Clark took a very shallow line for that ball in the gap in left center. It gets by him all the way to the vines.
So a duck on the pond for Todd Hollinsworth. 367 this year against Milwaukee, 313 in his career.
You know, we mentioned at the top of the show about taking advantage of your opportunities offensively, not only against Ben Sheets, who likes to challenge hitters when he gets into those hitters counts, but also defensively. The Brewers' second worst defense in the National League, and even though it wasn't an error, Clark with a mistake right there. The line he took after that ball in the gap in left center, allowing it to become a double instead of a single.
Hitters count for Hollinsworth. Kick and the 2-0 up the middle, base hit. Walker will come around to score, and it's 1-0. Some 2-out offense here in the second for the Cubs.
It's a low fastball. Like most left-handed hitters, Todd Hollinsworth likes that ball down there around his knees. Didn't try to do too much, just line it back up the middle of the field, and with 2 outs, Walker's off on contact and scores easily the first run of the ball game.
Just his second hit with a runner in scoring position in 2 outs this year. Todd now 2 for 23 in that spot. You know, the lowest batting average with 2 outs and runners in scoring position in the National League. Barrett found that one off his foot. Interesting way to block the sun today. We got an email from Pat Sullivan in Lombard. Does it seem to you that Michael Barrett's batting stance is a little bit different? Got that email last night. Well, he's been tweaking his stance during some recent struggles. He opened up a little bit against the left-hander Doug Davis, something Derek Lee will occasionally do. He said he thinks he opened his stance just a little bit too much, so it's just a constant series of adjustments for a big league hitter. Hollinsworth on the move, got a great jump. That ball smothered by Moeller, and it'll be a steal for Hollinsworth, his 4th of the year.
Fourth stolen base of the season for Hollinsworth. Picked a good pitch to run on a breaking ball, even if that ball gets to the plate in the air. Because it's an off-speed pitch and because of the downward movement, it's a much tougher pitch for the catcher to handle, and the timing of the play will normally allow that base runner to beat any throw to second base, but that time it bounced in the dirt, no doubt about it.
2-2 to Barrett, inside corner, called strike 3 according to Mark Carlson. But Todd Walker with the 2-out double, followed up by the Hollinsworth RBI single, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Moving Forward is Motor Trend's 2005 Truck of the Year. Moving Forward is an excellent value. And Moving Forward is getting a great value on any of Toyota's award winners at the Toyota Sales Drive. Visit your Toyota dealer now for incredible 0% financing or $1,500 cash back on a new 4Runner or a new Tundra. But hurry, these outstanding deals on Toyota's best end soon. The Toyota Sales Drive. Now that's moving forward. Toyota.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Looking for complete sports coverage? Then you need Jim Beam Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. It's the show to watch for what's going on in the Chicago sports scene. Get a full recap of the day in sports.
And that's just one of the many great storylines.
With highlights,
way back, out of here. He gone.
Interviews, and more time on the big stories. It's Chicago's most comprehensive sports show. Don't miss Jim Beam Sports Night, nightly at 10 at midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. He swings a powerful bat.
Derek Lee crushes one.
Unbelievable. He flashes the leather.
Caught by Lee.
And this year, he's done it all on the north side.
What a night.
What a season. Triple Crown contender Derek Lee has the Cubs primed to make a run in the National League.
He has done it yet again.
Be there for every big moment. All season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Nobody does baseball better. Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Please send us an email today, brought to you by Coors Light. Len and Bob at ComcastSportsnet.com. It's been a very popular feature here in 2005. And the Cubs lead early on 1-0. Cubs pitching staff hasn't needed much in terms of offensive run support. And the consecutive scoreless innings streak for the Cubs is now at 27 innings. So the equivalent of 3 complete games. J.J. Hardy, Brewers shortstop, strike one. 26 pitches from Kerry Wood, 21 for strikes. Pitch. Now 2-1 on Hardy. 0 for 1 with a walk earlier this year against Kerry Wood. Chris Capuano and Greg Maddux tomorrow. He's behind 3-1. Mark Pryor is scheduled to make his second start off the DL Friday against Washington. And a leadoff walk first base runner for Milwaukee. Comes to lead off the third. Also, Carlos Zambrano road alternate jersey winners today. Got the scratch and win card. A great item. It's a great looking jersey. And Carlos wore that jersey last night, picked up the win.
All 3 of those little girls would have fit in that jersey.
Chad Moeller, the catcher. Pitcher is on deck, so no bunt here. And it's a pitcher who doesn't hit very well, but again, we've got to be careful because of what Doug Davis did last week. But Ben Sheets 0 for 16 to start the season.
Now, we've talked about it before. Anybody with a bat in their hands is dangerous, but with the 7, 8, 9 hitters that the Brewers are featuring today, you figure this to be a breather inning for Kerry Wood, and then he goes right out and walks Hardy to lead off the inning. Hardy hitting 179 coming into play today. Moeller at 186, and forget about Sheets.
Quick throw to first. We just saw Mark Pryor. He was up on the mound with his in-between starts work earlier today. Chatting with the closer, Ryan Dempster. Quick throw to first, and Hardy back in time. 2-1 on Moeller.
Yeah, Dempster told us today he's starting to get more comfortable with that closer's role, that sits down there in the bullpen, and when the team scores a couple of runs, he starts that heart rate. The anticipation of possibly coming in, pitching the 9th inning, saving a ball game. It's all part of what it takes to be a good closer, that anticipation of getting out there in that 9th inning, getting 3 big outs.
Fouled back, and now it's even 2-2. How about this matchup Friday? Livan Hernandez and Mark Pryor. Hernandez 11-2. Call, strike 3. That's number 4 for Wood.
Tight break on this hard slider. Starts on the inside part of the plate, sweeps all the way out to the corner. See Barrett with a little assist right there at the end, pushing that ball back toward the middle of the plate just a little bit.
And a strike on Ben Sheets. 3 sacrifice bunts for Sheets. Kerry Wood ranks 4th in Cubs history on the all-time strikeout list. 1,246 strikeouts. Push toward Lee, but foul. Well, he was playing defense more than anything else on that bunt attempt. Please hit the bat. Please hit. Oh, hit the bat.
And Derek Lee once again with a very aggressive charge from first base as you see that defensive bunt attempt, and Derek lets it roll right on by. Todd Walker comes in and touches it in foul territory. Derek Lee's looking to get that lead runner at second base if at all possible.
And he takes it for strike 3. So first time through the order, 1 base runner, the leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. 5 strikeouts for Wood. Brady Clark 0 for 5 to start this series. Tied for 8th in the National League at batting average. 100 hits on the year. Tied for 3rd in the majors. Derek Lee leads the majors with 109 hits.
Pickoff attempt at first base at about 93. We hear pitchers talk all the time, and we heard Kerry Wood talk about the ball coming out of his hand well. It just felt good coming out of his hand.
And that one ripped into center for the first Brewers hit. And Hardy will end up at 3rd.
I think more than anything that phrase is just indicative that all your mechanics are coming together at the right time, and you're releasing the ball at the ultimate time in your delivery where you get the most velocity, the most accuracy. It's a good fastball down around the knees over the heart of the plate, but Brady Clark's having himself a heck of a year. He might be the best unknown hitter in the game right now.
So they're at the corners with 2 outs. First time the Brewers have put a runner at 3rd in this series. That's the first time the last 3 games, including today, the Cubs have allowed an opposing base runner to reach 3rd. And he went. 2 strikes. Rich Donnelly, a very talkative guy, third base coach for the Brewers. First time he's had Someone in a gray uniform to talk to in this series. Kerry Wood trying to strand Hardy there. And an 0-2. He struck him out. All 3 outs, strikeouts here in the 3rd inning. The Cubs lead 1-0.
Technology works for some people. I'm not one of them. That's why I use Walgreens Digital Photo Center. They have experts to help people like me. I can bring in any digital media, edit my photos, and print as many of the ones I like with a choice of sizes. And unlike the prints most people make at home, these prints cost less and last a lifetime. And it's easy, even for me.
Chevy's proud to be the #1 selling passenger car brand. We have 9 cars with at least 30 highway miles per gallon. We've always broken the rules. Now we're rewriting them. Introducing for the first time ever, the Chevy Employee Discount. For everyone, you pay what we pay, not a cent more. Now get an 05 Cobalt-based Cooper sedan for $12,470 at participating dealers only. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
So you finally broke down and got it for him?
Yep.
How do you react?
Speechless.
Sony Grand Vega HD TV and digital cable with HD. The high-def combination you've been waiting for. Now's the time. The Grand Vega HD TV, like no other.
Available at Sears.
Friday, Derek Lee and the Cubs are ready for a slugfest at the friendly confines when they host the Washington Nationals, followed by Cubs postgame live. Cubs Nationals Friday at 1. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Kerry Wood with his first at bat today. 1 for 8 on the year. The hit a double. 168 for his career with 7 home runs. Bill Hall will take care of him for the first out here in the Cubs' 3rd. Weekdays, don't miss Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. It's Chicago Sports Show. Dan Jiggets and a rotating panel of sports writers and special guests discuss the day's hottest topics, get you ready for the night in sports. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live today after Cubs postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now Corey Patterson hitless for the series. Popped out to first on a play that ended up in a collision between the cornermen, Hall and Overbay, back in the 1st inning. Inside edge for a strike. Good location from Ben Sheets. Patterson has been behind in the count so much lately. 18 strikeouts for Patterson against Sheets in now 39 career at bats. And he foul tips for strike 3, so another strikeout.
There's no question it's been a struggle recently for Corey Patterson at the plate. Belt high fastball, outer half. Really a lot of body in his swing, a lot of hip torque, a lot of shoulder movement, a lot of head movement, a lot of legs. Talked about it briefly in the game last night, especially with 2 strikes. You'd like to see him shorten up just a little bit, be quicker with the hands, a little quieter with the body. Try to put the ball in play, take advantage of that great speed that he has.
Just talking with the Cubs hitting coach Gene Kleins before the game, and talked to Corey about all the things that we've discussed on the air, that things have been talked about around town, and now it's kind of a matter of Corey executing those things and having a game plan every time he goes to the plate. 2-0 to Perez, outside edge, 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2.
I know as a former manager, I don't think I ever rooted for a player as hard as I did for Corey last night after making that great defensive play, stifling a Brewer rally, turning it into a double play, and then coming in to lead off the next inning. He got a standing ovation as he came off the field, and you really just had the feeling if he could have done something offensively in that at bat, that was one of those season-turning moments. And unfortunately, he struck out in that particular at bat, and the same people that were applauding him as he left the field were booing him as he walked back to the dugout.
Flared right field, and this is going to be a problem for Weeks, and it'll drop for a hit. Ricky Weeks just kept drifting out, and Nafee able to get it over his head. So his first hit in this series.
You know he's going to take it. It may not have been pretty, but it'll work. A lot of times when a hitter is struggling offensively, it takes something like this to get you going. Just a fortunate little blooper into shallow right field. Nobody can get there. And hopefully that's something Nafee can build on.
Nafee running, and the throw by Moeller is in time to get him. So Perez gunned down for the second time this year. Takes the bat out of the hands of Derek Lee. Here in the third inning, 1-0 Cubs.
There are thousands of faces at Robert Morris College, and behind each one of them is a dream. Do you see yourself? Choose your passion, and you can graduate in 3 years or less. There are hundreds of opportunities behind our doors, one for every dream. Your dream. Accessible, affordable, attainable. Robert Morris College. Real college for the real world.
Truth is, Ford has the best-selling SUVs in America. Ford Explorer is the most trusted SUV, so dare to compare. Domestic or foreign, rebates or employee plans. Like $4,500 cash back on Explorer. That's $3,000 more than Toyota 4Runner. Get $4,500 cash back on Expedition. That's $1,500 more than Chevy Tahoe. Dare to compare and see why Ford is the best-selling brand of vehicles in America. Compare now at your local Ford store.
Can I clear these for you? Okay, let me just empty. I'll just take these out of your way, okay? Done? What about these? You guys done? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you know what? That new busboy you hired, he's really working his butt off.
Yeah. I didn't hire a busboy.
This summer, grab some Coors or Coors Light. Look for specially marked packages for your chance to win never released before music downloads powered by Sony from Connect.com. Taste the cold. Get the music.
I'm Pat Boyle. Coming up Wednesday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll recap Kerry Wood's return to the Cubs. Plus, we'll have a preview from Detroit as Brandon McCarthy takes to the hill against the Tigers. All that's coming up on Chicago Tribune Live.
Let's check out today's Aflac trivia question. We're the only two pitchers to strike out their ages, meaning their age at the time when they had as many strikeouts as years in one game. So Bill Hall will start the fourth inning. We'll get the answer in the bottom of this inning. Hall, Lee, and Overbay due up against Kerry Wood, who's allowed one hit, one walk, but has struck out 6 through 3 innings. First start in 2 months. Talking with Jeff Cirillo yesterday. Cirillo's on the disabled list with a broken left hand. He is traveling with the Brewers, and he's become a mentor a bit to, you know, guys like Hall and Weeks and Hardy. And he said one thing about Bill Hall, he's discovered power to right center. That's been a big key for him. He's got some good pop. And he did not go around Joe West, crew chief, with the call at first.
That's one thing that's always been said about Jeff Cirillo as we get one more look at this check swing. See what you think. Appeared like he was able to hold up. Strong wrist right there. Jeff Cirillo, even through his struggles the last couple of years of his career, he's always been a great teammate. A guy that works extremely hard, willing to take extra time to help his teammates. And especially with this Brewers club, Well, that's the role he has. He's the veteran to help these youngsters learn how to play at the major league level.
Big open stance for Bill Hall. The next pitch is fouled off. Cubs right now in second in the wild card, 3 back of the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta has won 5 in a row. Cubs have won 3 straight. You see the National League wild card standings, and Braves and Marlins coming up on the next road trip. That'll lead the Cubs into the All-Star break. Cubs are trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games for just the second time this year. Of course, they had a 7-game winning streak from May 27th through June 2nd. And last night, the 8th shutout for the Cubs. They had 6 all of last year. Another 2-2 and pretty close. Trying to get him with the slider.
That ought to be a called strike just because he didn't swing at it. That's a hanging breaking ball right in the middle of the plate, belt high.
Here is pitch number 9. And that's one driven deep left center and out. Bill Hall with his 12th home run. And it's 1-1. So Bill Hall now with his 4th home run this year against the Cubs. And the scoreless streak for the Cubs ends at 28 innings. Strike on Carlos Lee. So deep at bat for Bill Hall. And it ended up leaving the yard. Right field, and Burnett's with a beat on it.
Real good at bat by Billy Hall, battling against Kerry Wood. He saw everything Woody had to offer. He saw fastballs, sliders, curveballs, changeups. Got a fastball down the heart of the plate. From the looks of that at bat by Billy Hall, he was very comfortable at the plate. I'm not advocating trying to injure a hitter in any way, shape, or form, but he looked like he was seeing the ball real good out of Woody's hand. Very comfortable, just on everything. You have to move him off the plate, make him move his feet, make him inside aware, so he can't reach out over the plate and foul off those good pitcher's pitches in his next at bat.
You mentioned the 4 home runs this year for Hall against the Cubs. Actually 4 in his last 5 games against the Cubs, going back to that series in Milwaukee last week. Great day to be out on the rooftops today.
Hall was never much of a home run hitter in the minor leagues. The most he ever had was 15 for High Desert in 89 ball games, and High Desert is, as you might expect, a place where the ball really flies. But he's starting to figure it out, how to use his power, how to get good hitters counts and really let the bat go. Of course, he never really stayed in one place too long during the course of a season. He kept getting called up.
Patterson circling, and he has it. So 2 outs. Jeff Jenkins coming up. He struck out his first time. It's 1-1. Bill Hall with a leadoff home run here in the 4th. Well, last week, Bob, when the Cubs lost 3 in a row, they allowed 29 runs in the 3 games. The last 3 games, all wins, just 2 runs allowed. So a huge turnaround for this pitching staff.
I don't think there's any question. We've heard all the cliches. We've spouted a lot of the cliches. When you're pitching well, everything else seems to fall into place. Offensively, you don't feel like you have to put crooked numbers on the board to win a ball game. Defensively, your guys are on their toes. They're ready to make the plays behind you. You're working quickly, throwing strikes. But when the opposite is true, when your pitchers are struggling to command the strike zone, they're giving up a lot of base hits, a lot of base on balls. Your offense feels like they're out of a ball game early. They can't win a game unless you score 10 or 11 or 12 runs. Puts a lot of pressure on all the other aspects of the game when your pitching is not in order.
1-2 on Jenkins. Struck him out. So Kerry Wood with at least one strikeout in each of the first 4 innings, 7 on the afternoon. Hall with the leadoff home run to left center. And that ties the game, snaps a Cubs scoreless streak at 28 innings. It's 1-1.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Some like things warm. Others cool. Which is why the Lexus ES is available with heated and ventilated front seats and dual-zone climate control. So at least in one place, everyone is guaranteed to feel comfortable. At your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
Morning! What a day it's been already. I got up very...
Barb's a natural morning person. For me, morning's about as natural as my hair color.
Do you scrapbook?
No. But I found a way to get through.
Oh, McDonald's. I could really use some coffee.
Decaf, I hope.
And I thought, I'm going to put a regular...
Whatever you need to get you through the morning, you'll find it at McDonald's. Hurry in now to get a hot and delicious sausage biscuit with egg meal for just $2.49.
Have a great day. And you have a great day, too.
Well, let's revisit our Aflac trivia question for today. We're the only 2 pitchers to strike out their ages. Of course, Kerry Wood on the hill today. 20 strikeouts. He was 20 in 1998. Bob Feller was 17 strikeouts back in 1936. Pretty impressive. I guess once you pass 27, it's a little bit more difficult.
It gets a little tougher, yeah.
Unless you go to extras. Although you could have the wild pitch, so the 4 strikeout inning. 3-0 on Lee. He was at the plate when Nathan Perez was caught stealing to end the 3rd inning. Takes it all the way for strike 1. A big shift on again against Lee. Ground ball backhanded by the second baseman Weeks. So 2 ground balls normally would be handled by the shortstop off the bat of Derek Lee, but the second baseman has handled both chances.
Well, with some teams, you'd be a little concerned with your second baseman handling the ball over there at that shortstop's position. A lot of second basemen don't have enough arm to consistently make that play, but Ricky Weeks with a strong throwing arm, especially for a second baseman.
Popped up by Burnett's back of 3rd. Hall, Hardy, Lee all going over, and it'll drop untouched.
That's where that shift can hurt you defensively. J.J. Hardy shading up the middle of the field for the left-handed hitting Jeremy Burnett's had a long way to run. Tough play for Billy Hall. He's looking right back up over his shoulder into the sun, and you see Carlos Lee come sliding into your picture. He was shaded over in left center field a little bit, so one instance right there where the shift actually hurt the defense.
Sheets with the 0-1, high in the air to right field. This ball's deep. Jenkins back. He is already out of room. Out of here. Burnett's with his 13th home run, and the Cubs get the lead right back. It's 2-1. Well, 12 years ago today, Jeremy Burnitz with his first career home run, so celebrating the anniversary with another long ball.
Boy, that was a long ball. He clubs this thing. I mean, that is as hard as you can hit the ball to right field today. Our Heineken home run replay. Jenkins ran out of real estate. That ball's about 4 or 5 rows up into the stands. But we've talked about that wind blowing in from right center field today. Hey, when you hit a no-doubter into the wind, you know you hit it pretty good.
I mentioned that offer, that it reached 18 at-bats when it snapped it last night. A home run in 2 tries today. It's 2-1.
That's a big momentum stealer as well. Kerry Wood gave up the leadoff home run in the 4th inning to tie the ball game, and then his team comes back offensively and scores a run for him right away to give him another lead.
So Ben Sheets has allowed at least 1 home run in 9 of his 11 starts this year. Spent about a month on the DL with an inner ear infection early on in the season. Outside on Ramirez. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You mentioned Sheets had given up 12 home runs coming into play today. Very odd. In the same number of at-bats, right-handers had hit twice as many home runs as lefties.
This one way out of play.
Right-handers were batting .266 with 8 home runs against Ben Sheets. Left-handers hitting only .211 with 4 home runs in the same number of at-bats this season.
Another 2-2, and he gets Ramirez that time. Third strikeout for Sheets today.
Well, that's been his signature pitch. This is a guy that was voted by Baseball America the best curveball in the major leagues. Matt Morris was second. Roy Oswald was third on that list, but Ben Sheets displaying that curveball that won him that award.
Walker doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. Ben Sheets has been a tough luck pitcher with Milwaukee. Lost 14 games last year. His team supported him with 19 runs in those 14 losses. We talked about his last start. He struggled. His teammates bailed him out with 3 comebacks on Thursday. And now Ben Sheets 7-6 in his career against the Cubs. 0-1 this year in 2 starts. So you see the start. Wow, amazing. 6-0 and now 1-6.
Had some success early, but in his last 9 starts, a 1-6 record, ERA of almost 5.
Sometimes you can't make too much out of those numbers because the personnel will change from year to year. Todd Walker to deep right. And Jenkins will watch it. It's off the wall. And Walker will slide in with his 2nd double today. So now 10 doubles on the year for Todd Walker.
Another loud at bat by a Cubs hitter. Another day, this ball may get up in the basket. Hit on a line about halfway up the wall. As you said, 2nd double of the game for Todd Walker. He seems to really have a beat on Ben Sheets today.
Ned Yost, the manager, is out. Hey, change the way you experience television with Sony's high-definition TV, available at your local Sears store. We'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Muscatine Power and Water in Muscatine, Iowa. Waiting for a home run ball today. Tom Hollinsworth bounces it foul. RBI single and a stolen base in the second inning. Burnett's with a home run to make it 2-1. Cubs trying to add to their lead here with 2 outs in this inning. Runner at second. A ball and a strike on Hollinsworth.
You know, sometimes as a hitter, you can look at a way a team is defending you and try to figure out how they're going to try to pitch to you. Brady Clark is shaded way over into the gap in left center field, which would indicate they're probably going to work Hollinsworth away with hard stuff. You wouldn't want to throw an off-speed pitch inside and give him the chance to pull it, and indeed they go away and he flies to left field.
And that ends the 4th inning. Burnett's with his 13th home run, and the Cubs have the lead once again. It's 2-1 after 4.
Car company is big enough to deliver the #1 selling cars and trucks in Chicagoland. Chevy. It's an American revolution, and we're taking over. See your Chevy dealer.
Remember when there were only a few TV channels and parents could easily keep track of what their kids watched? There's much more choice today. There are hundreds of cable programs, and making the right choices isn't always easy. One great choice is for families to communicate and decide together on what to watch. Help is available in the form of parental controls through your cable company and the V-Chip. For more information on how to choose the programming for your home, contact your cable company or visit the controlyourtv.org website.
Really was wild.
Animals also possess several.
Burnett's deep to center field. This ball is way back. Out of here. Jeremy Burnett with a home run.
Oh, yeah. Are you fan enough? Nobody does baseball better than Comcast Sportsnet. Catch the Cubs all season long. More games, more news, more passion.
You're watching Chevy Baseball Wednesday on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tonight, Paul Konerko and the White Sox continue their road trip in Motown where they square off with Pudge Rodriguez and the Tigers, followed by White Sox post-game live. White Sox Tigers tonight at 6 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, Mark Burley with his 10th win last night. Sox 2-1 winners. 2-1 the scores. The Cubs lead behind Kerry Wood today, 5th inning. He's had good velocity. He's had good command, and he has struck out 7 through the first 4 innings. Another strike on Hardy. Hardy led off the 3rd inning with a walk. Not going to happen this time as Perez charges, and the throw beats the Brewers shortstop, so it's 1 out with Chad Moeller coming up.
Nice play by Napey, fielding, throwing on the run, cutting across the infield there. Hardy, even though he plays middle infield, does not really run like a middle infielder you would expect him to run. He's very average with his speed. And this is one of those innings we talked about earlier after the leadoff walk to Hardy back in the 3rd inning. This is as close to a breather inning as Kerry Wood's going to get against this Brewers lineup. 7, 8, 9 hitters, all of whom have struggled at the plate this year.
Strike on Moeller. Last 10 games coming in at 289 with 2 home runs. He started the day overall at 186. Backhanded by Ramirez behind 3rd, and the pick by Lee at the other end, and not an easy play. But Derek Lee, as good as any first baseman in baseball, digging out those low throws.
Ramirez, I've sent Derek Lee a thank you card for this one. He had a lot more time than he realized with Chad Moeller, the catcher, running. See, Moeller was barely in your picture there, but Derek Lee makes a real nice pick on the other end to complete that play.
You know, sometimes the shorter the hop, the easier the play. But that ball actually hit the dirt a good 4 or 5 feet before it reached the glove of Lee. Swing and a miss by Sheets.
You know, on that short hop, the ball doesn't really have a chance to do too much. You know, you smother it almost right as it's coming off the dirt. It's a relatively easy play, but that long hop gives that ball a chance to do some things.
Burnett's coming in, and he has it to retire Sheets. A very efficient 5th inning for Kerry Wood. It's still 2-1.
Yeah, going to Phoenix.
There's an exciting new sound in travel. Introducing Ding. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop. Deals that are available only for a limited time and only by downloading Ding at southwest.com.
If you took away the labels, which beer would you choose? We believe you'd choose a beer with golden rich flavor that goes down smooth. We believe you'd choose a Miller Genuine Draft. Because we're more concerned with what goes in the bottle than what goes on it. Miller. Good call.
We designed it to move, and it became the most powerful car in its class. We designed it to do most everything, and it became the best-selling car in its class. We designed it for the driver, and in its first year it won Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award. And now they've been designed for everyone. Introducing GM employee pricing on every 2005 Pontiac.
During the Pontiac Employee Discount for Everyone event, buy a 2005 Grand Prix starting at $19,143. You pay what we pay, not a cent more.
Time now for the Pontiac Sports Night Update.
Good afternoon, everyone. Pat Boyle back in our Comcast Sportsnet studios. While the Cubs Nation is glued to Kerry Wood's return, those eyes on the south side are hoping they see Brandon McCarthy, who was brilliant in his Major League debut at Wrigley, but has faltered since. He's allowed 6 runs in each of his last 2 starts. He'll try and rebound against the Tigers tonight. You can see that game at 6 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now, let's send it back out to the friendly confines and Landon Bob.
Pat, thank you very much. Kerry Wood did not throw a ball and missed the zone in the 5th inning. 8 pitches, all for strikes as he went 1-2-3 against the bottom of the Milwaukee order, and he's looked very sharp today.
He indeed has looked very sharp, up to 71 pitches on the afternoon, and the velocity is still there. The location is still there. Breaking balls have been extremely sharp, and he looks very, very comfortable with whatever his new mechanics are. He's been able to repeat that delivery over and over again, and the reason I say that is because he continues to throw good quality pitcher strikes.
2-1 on Michael Barrett. Wood after him, he's on deck. The 71 pitches matching the pitch count from Mark Pryor in 6 innings. And Pryor's return on Sunday. But again, Kerry Wood got into the 80s in his last minor league rehab start with Iowa. So he's stretched out a bit more than Pryor. 3-2 to Barrett. He is hit in the air. Going out is Weeks. Coming in is Jenkins, a right fielder, and it's Jenkins to make the catch.
I think the difference in pitch count between Mark Pryor's outing against the White Sox when he went 6 innings, he only struck out 3 batters. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to strike everybody out. You just have to get them out, as you see Jenkins coming in making the relatively routine catch in right field. But Kerry Wood has racked up some strikeouts in this game, and obviously you have to throw at least 3 pitches to a hitter to get a strikeout. So that's the reason for the increased pitch count if you're comparing the two.
And it's caught by Weeks as Kerry Wood was looking for his first single of the year. Nicely timed by the rookie Weeks.
Boy, athletically, you have to love these young Brewers players. I thought that ball was into center field for a base hit, and Weeks made up a lot of ground with his last step and leap. That ball is almost past him as he goes up the ladder to make that catch. A very athletic play by Ricky Weeks. And we've seen Billy Hall make some great defensive plays. We've seen what he can do swinging the bat. Prince Fielder made some very nice defensive plays up in Milwaukee in his start at first base. J.J. Hardy, a very acrobatic and athletic shortstop.
One and one on Corey Patterson, so taking a couple of pitches to start this at bat. 0 for 2 today, 0 for 6 in the series. Going back to the conversation I had with Gene Kleins, one of the things he does for all the hitters is he makes a log of every good at bat, every quality at bat, every good swing. And with the help from Ed Cohen and his interns in the video room here at Wrigley Field, Marty and Tommy, they put together DVDs of all the guys on this team and all their good quality at bats. So Gino and the hitters can go back and look at those good swings. So I was asking him about Derek Lee. I said, "You're just leaving him alone?" He said, "Yeah, just leaving him alone. And in case he does struggle, we'll have all those good swings." That's like a 7 DVD set for Derek Lee, the greatest hits here in the first 3 months of the season.
Well, no kidding. I mean, there have only been a couple of games where you probably wouldn't want to show the at-bats that Derek Lee has had.
So I got a little brief tour of the video room here at Wrigley, and got the computers working, the DVD players. And of course, every hitter and pitcher, they all want a little bit of a different look. Some guys want just certain swings against certain pitchers. They do a lot of the advanced work, getting videotape from the upcoming opponents.
And a lot of times it's not even only that particular player. They might want to see at bats that a similar type hitter has had against Ben Sheets. How has he pitched, for example, against left-handed hitters who are similar to Corey Patterson? What's he tried to do to those guys? And sometimes that can be beneficial going into a ball game.
Quality at bat there for Corey Patterson. A 10-pitch at bat that results in a 2-out walk.
Laid off numerous high fastballs in that sequence, fouled off a couple other ones, and ended up drawing the base on balls. And you would figure that he's going to look to steal second base at some time early in the sequence here to Nathy Perez.
And there he goes. Pitches a strike. The throw is offline. Hardy goes to get it. And Corey with his 12th stolen base. And that leads the club.
Not much Chad Moeller could do with this one. You see Patterson gets a great jump, and he's going full speed after about 2 steps into his move to second base. The throw tails to the first base side. And you can see Corey sliding with his face toward the outfield, looking for a potential overthrow, jump to his feet, and move on to third base. And we said he can be slow to the plate. Tends to forget about the base runners over there, even the guys that he knows are base stealers.
Meanwhile, 1 strike on Nathy, who is 1 for 2 this afternoon. Pushed him off the plate. Well, happy birthday to media relations intern Charlie Gillingham. Does a great job. Fouled back. Also get well wishes to Candy Martin, who recently had surgery. Candy, the wife of Bob Martin, who handles the door down in the home clubhouse. Bob, one of our favorites, and get well wishes to his wife Candy. kick and the 1-2, and Napey swings and misses for the strikeout. That'll end the Cubs' 5th inning. Patterson with a 2-out walk and stolen base, but he's left stranded at second. It's 2-1 Cubs after 5.
What I seek every single day is perfection. I want you to guess how many checks we process each day. Try more than 40 million, more than any other company in America. But what's truly impressive is the accuracy with which we take care of them. I'm Lance Drummond, I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. If you weren't a perfectionist, you couldn't do this job. One error in a million is simply unacceptable. So at Bank of America, we customize our own equipment. We engineer our own software, create our own quality control systems. To us, this is like an assembly line that is mission critical, meaning 0 defects. This isn't about processing nearly 11 billion checks a year flawlessly. It's a matter of accurately handling one single check and then repeating it 11 billion times.
Bank of America, higher standards.
It's Hyundai's winning SUV sales event. Now is your best chance ever to save on our award-winning SUVs, including the new Hyundai Tucson, named Best New Small SUV by Kiplinger's and equipped with 6 standard airbags. Or the Hyundai Santa Fe, winner of Strategic Vision's Total Value Award with a standard V6. All backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Hurry into Hyundai's winning SUV sales event for great deals on our award-winning SUVs at Hyundai. Get a Santa Fe with up to $1,500 cash back or 0% APR at your local Hyundai dealer.
Friday, Derek Lee and the Cubs are ready for a slugfest at the friendly confines when they host the Washington Nationals, followed by Cubs postgame live. Cubs Nationals Friday at 1. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, the Cubs host the Washington Nationals Friday, July 1st at 1:20. Make sure to arrive early to be one of the first 10,000 adults to receive a Cubs Great T-shirt, compliments of Pepsi. No purchase necessary. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Into the 6th inning. And this half inning of Cubs baseball brought to you by Robert Morris College. Real college for the real world. We love this park too. Great place to be. A summer afternoon in Chicago. Top of the order for Milwaukee. Five hits for the Cubs, 2 for the Brewers. Swung on and missed. Beautiful afternoon here at Wrigley. Again, all strikes in the 5th inning.
We talked about that being somewhat of a breather inning for Kerry Wood, able to get through it with only 8 pitches. And now back to work here on the top of the Brewers order.
Line and the 2-2 and a bounced up there for ball 3, full count.
Looks like that one got a little bite of Michael Barrett back there behind the plate, shaking off that right hand as he tried to block that ball over in the other batter's box.
Clark will get another chance. The Cubs ERA this month going into that Saturday game, game 2 on the south side, was 5.84. Well, going into this one at 5.20. So a rough start to the month. Cubs trying to end it with a flourish. See if this one's going to stay in play. Derek Lee over near the barrier and pushing that one foul. Stay cool today. Ed Kecker, who handles our replays, just had to get out of the production truck for a moment, just for a second.
Boy, does that look comfortable, man. I drive right by there after the ball game. I hope that's still going.
You know, one of my dogs likes to do that, but it's not something I was thinking about doing, but you know, not a bad idea today. Lead-off walk. Ed's got to dry off before he handles the equipment, though, in the truck.
We're told it smells like a wet dog down in the truck right now.
So facing the bottom three in the Brewers' order in the 5th inning, Kerry Wood needed 8 pitches to dispose of Hardy, Moeller, and Sheets. Well, he threw 8 pitches to Brady Clark and walked him. Leading off the 6th, you saw action out in the Cubs bullpen. The right-hander is Michael Wirtz, the lefty Glendon Rush. Now back in the bullpen. How about Rich Hill, his first start back in AAA. Game 2 of a doubleheader last night. He got the win, 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. A 4-1 win over Omaha.
That's what you like to see. You know, we talked about having Rich Hill up here in the major leagues, and is he better served sitting down there in that bullpen and maybe pitching once or twice a week, or going back to the minor leagues and getting his pitch count up there, keeping his arm strength up in the event the Cubs need to reach for him again at some point in the future? And went down there with the right attitude and a great start last night.
Good slider for a strike. And that tips the count in favor of the pitcher, 1-2. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. Number 8 for Kerry.
Well, not only good movement, good break on that slider, but great location. He keeps it right down around the knees, and when that ball breaks down and away from the right-handed hitter, he just swings right over the top of it. Never really got a good look at that pitch. Big at bat right here. Billy Hall had a great at bat against Kerry Wood, leading off that 4th inning before hitting a home run. He just looks real comfortable up there right now. There's ways you can make a hitter uncomfortable.
The 8 strikeouts for Wood, tying a season high. Struck out 8 in a 5-2 win over the Pirates on April 24th. Popped up, foul territory. Lee over again. And again out of play.
This was after a long battle between Kerry Wood and Billy Hall. Got a fastball down the middle of the plate. Put a good quick swing on it. A lot of hands. Just kind of flicked it out of here to left field.
So Hall snapped the Cubs' 28 consecutive scoreless inning streak with the leadoff homer in the 4th inning. That tied the game, but the Cubs got the lead again when Burnitz hit a 1-out home run in the bottom of that inning.
I mean, I think back to former Brewer Junior Spivey when he played for me in Arizona and came to the major leagues, and Greg Maddux at the time pitching for the Atlanta Braves, and Junior, I think, had hits in his first 6 at bats against Mad Dog. Just owned it. And the next time Greg Maddux saw him, he put one right between his numbers.
Well, Clark was running. He's going to have to reverse field as Burnitz will make the catch. And Clark back to first.
More than anything else, I think that's a show of respect on the part of the pitcher. You know, listen, I recognize right now that you've got my number. You're seeing my pitches well. You feel very comfortable at the plate, and I'm going to do everything in my power not to let that happen.
Now, of course, a guy is not trying to hit a batter in that spot, but just trying to at least get his attention. Do you think about situations when you might think about working way inside to a guy and say, well, you know, 1-run game, don't want to put another guy on just in case it drifts too far?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the game situation will determine how much you miss your spot by. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And ideally, you never hit a batter. You know, you push him off the plate, you make him move his feet, you make him uncomfortable in the batter's box, change his eye level, do all those things that good pitchers do, and then execute the next pitch to get him out.
You have a feeling this might be the final inning today for Kerry Wood. One and one.
You know, Dusty would love to get Kerry Wood out of the ball game with an opportunity to pick up a win in his first start back, and certainly Woody has pitched well enough to deserve a win in this ball game. So he needs to get one more out right here.
This will be pitch number 90 of the afternoon, and it is a strike. Getting on their feet here at Wrigley. Swing and a miss. 9 strikeouts through 6 innings for Kerry Wood. Was that his final pitch today? We'll see. He walks off the mound, and the Cubs are leading 2-1.
Hey, where you been? Well, we needed a break from the city, so we hop in our new Nissan Pathfinder. Drive to a small town and hear, hey, you got Calzones here? So we go even farther and find a dude ranch. See horses, see cowboys, see guys saying the best pizzas at Lombardi's. Mud baths at the hot springs. Hey, I'm in your building. We drive farther and farther down a canyon, across the river to the most far away from the city place, and we realize we missed you guys.
The 7-passenger, 270-horsepower Nissan Pathfinder. Lease the 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder at this special introductory rate.
After the Cubs game, stay tuned for Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Joe's Crab Shack. Get complete analysis from Dan Plesac and hear what Dusty Baker says during his post-game remarks. Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Joe's Crab Shack, after the Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet. Last week on Comcast Sportsnet, if you just got the scores, you didn't get the whole picture.
We have tried so hard to try to get this game back on the ice. And we are going to try to make it better for everybody to play. We are trying to get this game back on the ice to make it better for the fans. And if you don't realize that, then don't come. We don't want you in the rink. We don't want you in the stadium. We don't want you to watch hockey.
We're going to achieve that goal. That's what we want to do. That's the reason I've taken this job on, and I believe we can do it, and we're going to do it.
Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Get sports news the way you like it on Comcast Sportsnet. Our team covers your teams morning, noon, and night. We take you inside the Chicago sports scene. Whether it's in-depth interviews, reactions in the locker room, the biggest news coming from practice, or the stories you haven't heard about, our crew brings it all home to you before, during, or after the game. When you want to get the latest news on Chicago sports, turn to Comcast Sportsnet. More news, more passion.
Sports Day, weekdays at noon, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
After the game, stick around for Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Joe's Crab Shack. Get highlights of all the action, analysis from Dan Plesac, plus hear what Dusty has to say. Don't miss Cubs Post-Game Live immediately following the game on Comcast Sportsnet. Derek Lee, a base hit. Shift didn't matter that time. He hit it over everybody on the left side. Kind of hard to tell if Cubs have decided Kerry Wood is done. There's nobody working in the Cubs bullpen. We saw action earlier. It's possible he could get another inning. 91 pitches through 6 innings today. You see the comparison between Wood thus far and Mark Pryor. I think that might be it.
Hey, you would think so. You mentioned nobody throwing in the bullpen right now, but because of the temperatures today, the humidity, I'm sure both of those pitchers that were throwing in the bullpen are ready to go, and maybe would only need a few more warm-up pitches before taking the mound to start the next half inning.
Runner at first with nobody out, just off the outside corner. Burnett's with the go-ahead home run in the 4th inning, making it 2-1. A reminder regarding the All-Star game and the online balloting, it will end tomorrow night at 10:59 p.m. Central Time. Go to Cubs.com and you can vote up to 25 times. Of course, Derek Lee inching closer to Albert Pujols Does he have enough time? That's the question. 3 weeks ago, he was about 300,000 votes behind Pujols. Well, now under 60,000 away. Sheets will throw to first. Got all the votes for Pujols and Lee. Day and a half to vote. Lee running this time and cued toward third. Hall will fire. Lee trying to get to third, and the tag applied. Derek trying to be aggressive. He was running with the pitch. He never stopped around second. It ends up being a double play. I believe that'll go 5-3-6.
A nice try by Derek Lee. When you see the third baseman come in to field that ball, he realizes there's nobody at third base, but J.J. Hardy recognized that quickly, hustled over from his position and was there to cover the bag, as was Chad Moeller. The catcher came out, and I don't know if you'll see him in this picture, but Moeller was right there on top of the play as well. Heads-up adjustment defensively by the Brewers, and a very aggressive, but I think a smartly aggressive play by Derek Lee, trying to get to third base with, at the time, only one out in the inning. Now from this angle, you'll see Chad Moeller is right there as well to make the play if necessary. That's just good anticipation defensively by the Brewers.
Ramirez looks one foul. Ben Sheets had 100 pitches today here in the 6th inning. He also wanted to mention the Futures game coming up Sunday, July 10th in Detroit, a couple of days before the All-Star game. Felix PA will play for the World Team. PA right now AA West 10. And Scott Moore, who's in the Florida State League with Daytona, will play for the U.S. team of the Cubs organization.
Now with 2 outs in the inning, you see Glendon Rush jumping back up to throw a few more warm-up pitches, which would probably indicate that Kerry Wood's day is finished.
Swing and a miss, and that will end the 6th inning. So we'll move to the 7th. Kerry Wood went 6 today. Glendon Rush will take over. Cubs lead by a run.
Moving Forward is Motor Trend's 2005 Truck of the Year. Moving Forward is an excellent value. And Moving Forward is getting a great value on any of Toyota's award winners at the Toyota Sales Drive. Visit your Toyota dealer now for incredible 0% financing or $1,500 cash back on a new 4Runner or a new Tundra. But hurry, these outstanding deals on Toyota's best end soon. The Toyota Sales Drive. Now that's moving forward. Toyota.
Get an inside perspective of your Chicago Cubs year-round with Vineline, the club's official monthly magazine. Published out of the Cubs' own friendly confines, Vineline delivers expert team analysis, exclusive player features, outstanding photography, and more. Call 1-800-248-9467 to order today and receive a free gift with your subscription. Rates start at just $24.95. Vineline subscriptions are also available at Cubs.com.
When beer starts out this cold, it ends up this refreshing. Coors Light.
I'm Pat Boyle. Coming up Wednesday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll recap Kerry Wood's return to the Cubs. Plus, we'll have a preview from Detroit as Brandon McCarthy takes to the hill against the Tigers. All that's coming up on Chicago Tribune Live.
Well, tomorrow, June 30th at 1:20, the Cubs will take on the Brewers. Kids will want to come early to be one of the first 10,000 to receive a Cubs Got Milk growth chart. No purchase necessary. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Again, the first 10,000 kids will receive that Cubs Got Milk growth chart. And Glendon Rush back in the bullpen, facing a left-handed hitter, Lyle Overbay. Rush 3-3 with a 3.32 ERA and 10 starts, 2.35 earned run average. As a reliever, that's deep. And Overbay with a home run to tie it. It's 2-2. Leadoff homer here in the 7th from the Brewers' first baseman. His second home run here at Wrigley this year. So 2 solo home runs, both leadoff homers, and both to left center for the Brewers today.
It's a fastball up and out over the plate. Overbay's strength is to left center field, or at least his power is to left center field. He'll occasionally pull a home run to right field, but most of the time he hits the ball with authority to that gap in left center field, and got one through the wind into the bleachers. Well, it's unfortunate Kerry Wood won't get credit for a victory in this ball game today. Right now, the Cubs just hope to win this game, but you really have to be encouraged by the way he threw the ball.
So 2-2, and 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jeff Jenkins. Matt Wise, a right-hander, is up in the Brewers' pen. Foul by Jenkins. Just wanted to update the numbers for Scott Moore. We mentioned him, the infielder from Daytona, will be in the Futures game, hitting .295 with 15 home runs. Felix P.A., an outfielder at Double-A, as Jenkins strikes out, hitting .304 with 11 home runs, 13 stolen bases.
That's appropriate that P.A. is playing for the world team, since he's been all world this season.
Ten strikeouts for Cubs pitchers today. Kerry Wood had 9. Strike 1 on J.J. Hardy. Dusty Baker has called Glendon Rush our everything man. He can do everything. Be a short guy, medium guy, long man. He can start. He's also low maintenance, and by that I mean, if Larry Rothschild comes to him and says, hey, you're starting tomorrow, Glendon's reaction would be, okay. Whatever the Cubs need, he is more than happy to do. Swing and a miss, so he has struck out 2 since the Overbay home run. Jenkins and now Hardy. And it'll bring up Chad Moeller.
Now Rush said whatever makes us a better team, gives us a better chance to win, he's all in favor of, and he's less than low maintenance. He's no maintenance. Perfectly spotted fastball just off of the outside corner.
His last outing was a start on Thursday against Ben Sheets in Milwaukee. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. And Paul Reiser coming up with Take Me Out to the Ball Game after this third out. He's focused and ready to go. 1 home run, 1 hit for Chad Moeller against Rush. Outside corner for a strike. Good curveball from Glendon. 1-2. Just outside. So Rush now the 3rd reliever in the Cubs bullpen. Ullman and Remlinger are the other 2. Heard Dusty in the pregame show talk about the lefties and the decision to cut Joe Borowski. It's not an easy decision. Dusty and the Cubs agonized over it, but in the end somebody had to go, and it was the veteran right-hander Borowski.
Well, talking about those lefties, we all know that Mike Remlinger is much more effective against right-handed hitters. He's held them to a 185 batting average, while lefties have hit 333. So having Rem down there is like having another right-hander.
Another 2-2 pitch in the hole, surrounded by Napier. That's a long throw, and it'll be a hit for Moeller. Pulled Lee off the bag, but it would have been late either way.
They've had a long way to go to get to that ball. Hit in the hole. You can see several steps onto the outfield grass as he tries to make that off-balance throw on the move, and really very little chance to get Chad Moeller at first base on that one, as Michael Wirtz once again begins to throw in the Cubs bullpen.
So Wes Helms will be the pinch hitter. He started last night and went 0 for 3 against Carlos Zambrano. It's been a good role for him, 8 for 16 off the bench. Strike 1 on a fastball. So the only way Ben Sheets can get a win is if the Brewers are able to push home another run here in the 7th.
Dusty electing to stay with the left-hander right here. Helms is 2 for 15 lifetime against Glendon Rush, and a very good fastball hitter. He likes hard stuff. Glendon Rush with his variety of pitches, including a fastball, a changeup, and that big slow curveball, figures to be a tougher matchup for Wes Helms, and the career numbers would bear that out.
Off the inside. 2-2. The Cubs have not trailed in this series. The Brewers have come back to tie it twice today. Remember, they came back 3 times last Thursday. Ended up winning that ball game. And a balk has been called by the crew chief Joe West, working first base. Glendon Rush, not sure he knew what he did. That's pretty big. Runner in scoring position now.
He started to go into come up into his set position as he stepped off the back of the rubber, and apparently he motioned with his hands before he got his foot off the rubber. Well, we've seen a lot of odd balks like that, but we haven't seen very many balks called on things that are normally called balks. And by that I mean pitchers that don't stop. You'll see Rush starts and then made the motion with his glove before breaking contact with the rubber with his left foot.
Yeah, it looked like a good call from Joe West. There's a bouncer. Napier again. Sets, throws, and gets his man to get out of the inning. Overbay with a leadoff homer. It's now 2-2. Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Welcome the star of Mad About You, Paul Reiser.
All right, Chicago, drown me out. I'm begging you. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts. Oh, beautiful. Root for. If no win, it's a shame. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at me. Oh. Beautiful, baby. Let's get some runs.
Come on, Joe, what's cooking in the kitchen? Yeah.
Sirloin steak and shrimp. Juicy top sirloin steak served with your choice of shrimp for only $11.99. Choose from scampi seared, coconut crusted, teriyaki grilled, or golden fried. Only Joe's does steak and shrimp for $11.99. It's steak and shrimp crazy at Joe's Crab Shack. Hurry, create your own steak and shrimp combo for only $11.99.
Gotta go eat at Joe's.
Chevy's proud to be the #1 selling passenger car brand. We have 9 cars with at least 30 highway miles per gallon. We've always broken the rules. Now we're rewriting them. Introducing for the first time ever, the Chevy Employee Discount. For everyone, you pay what we pay, not a cent more. Now get an 05 Cobalt-based Cooper sedan for $12,470 at participating dealers only. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
For a good.
Every night at 10 and midnight, don't miss Jim Beam Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. All the day's news, scores, and highlights. Jim Beam Sports Night, nightly at 10 and midnight, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, a tie game here in the 7th inning, and a new pitcher for Milwaukee. Right-hander Matt Wise working to Todd Walker. Paul Reiser in the booth with us, actor, writer, stand-up comedian. And great to have you with us today, Paul.
Great to be here. What a beautiful day for a game.
Indeed. That's the next pitch. That's a strike, and it's 1-1, of course.
See, now I see from this position you can actually call these pitches. Much better than when I was sitting. Everything was far. It was outside, and I said, I must be sitting in the wrong seats. Oh. See, that would be inside. Am I right?
Good call.
Yeah, right. Good call. I could do this professionally, couldn't I? I seem to have. I have the gift.
All right, you can call this next pitch as well.
All right, here it is.
Have at it.
Here's the windup, and it's I'm going to go with call strike.
So, Paul, what's going on these days?
Oh, we're on a little baseball tour, my family. My son has become the baseball fan of all time, and he's just dragging my bones around the country. This is the first time I've been in Wrigley Field. Last night and tonight, this is magic. This is really a magic place to be.
Yeah, I read that you're going to try to knock off about a dozen ballparks this summer.
We're going to do a dozen and try and leave something for next summer, yeah. So we'll do we're going to do the East Coast. Do Washington, some Yankee Stadium, and Boston. Never been to Fenway. Oh, here we go. Around the second, bobbles it, and yet, got him.
So one out here in the 7th, yep.
Don't let me jump on you.
No, hey, go ahead.
No, that's your job.
We call enough innings, that's for sure.
I was keeping score yesterday, and I thought I was doing such a great job until I realized I had a couple of innings with 4 outs, a couple of innings with 2 outs. I haven't mastered the actual scorecard keeping yet.
As long as it adds up to 27, I guess it doesn't matter.
No big deal.
How old's your son, by the way?
He's 9.
Oh,
he's 9.
Great age to take to the ballpark.
Yeah, it is great. All right, Hollingsworth at the plate. Really? See, I had that as a ball. I'm going to change my mind and go with the ump.
Yeah, but see, now you can criticize the umpire.
Yeah.
That one was off the plate. So 1-1. Now you're from New York, correct?
I am from New York. I am. This is sort of roughly a Yankee Stadium feel, where you actually see buildings in the background and people hanging on rooftops. It's great. It's just beautiful. Whoa! Strike 2. If I may. Again, I overstepped my bounds. You tell me. I said strike 2 without any authorization. He swung and missed. I took a shot that was a strike.
The unauthorized play-by-play provided by Paul Reiser.
Please don't try this at home, kids. Unless you're licensed like these guys. And that is, edge will pop up to center field. It is.
So is this something you'd like to do at some point? I mean, you've done just about everything else in the entertainment
Let's see how this inning goes before we jump
Okay.
into any career changes.
All right.
But if I may mention the movie, if I can mention the movie and plug, may I plug?
Absolutely.
I get a new movie coming out in September called The Thing About My Folks with Peter Falk. The fantastic Peter Falk plays my father, and it's actually a great role. He's beautiful, and it's just about a father and son who spend time that they've never spent in their life, and they go driving around the country and they're going to ballparks and doing fishing, doing things that they've never done. And it's we've been showing it around the country, and people are just really warming up to it. So we can't wait to bring it out here. It'll be on Chicago September 13th.
Oh, can't wait to see it. Now, you wrote it, correct?
I wrote it, and we get a great cast, Peter, and Olympia Dukakis, and Elizabeth Perkins. And by the way, if any of your viewers mention that they heard me on this network here, they don't get anything really if they come to the theater, but they get the joy of remembering this time that we've spent. And who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, that's well said. I'm like, wait a big. No, just mention it.
Yeah, just if you mention that you heard me on Comcast, you go to the box office, pay your money, and we will let you watch the film. That's right.
That sounds like
you
a
will
bargain.
not be turned away. No, you can't beat that. And it's a special for your viewers only. 1-2 the count. All right, that looked high to me. But again, I am unauthorized to make that kind of call.
So you could work on some new jokes with some downtime
That's
calling
right.
a game like this, you know?
Totally. Absolutely. Now I have to come up with new jokes. Make a note. Jokes. Oh, here we go. Little ground to the third. Easily handled. And 3 down. I could do it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Paul, it's great to have you in the booth, and good luck with the new film.
Thank you. Which booth is soccer? I want to try soccer now.
I think it's down the right field line.
I'm going to try that.
We'll send you over there.
Volleyball next. Good,
Thanks,
guys.
Paul.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. 2-2.
Free to move about the country.
I'm proud to build trucks and SUVs to a higher standard.
Professional grade.
I'm proud to build the world's most powerful V8 pickups.
The most powerful midsize SUVs.
The most powerful full-size SUVs.
And I'm proud to offer something we've never done before.
Our very own employee discount. You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
Get an 05 Sierra 1500 work truck 2-wheel drive for just $13,136 with your employee discount. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana GMC dealers.
And now they're trying to take my life away.
Now when you buy a specially marked 12-pack of Heineken, you'll get 2 music downloads from Rhapsody and have a chance to win Sirius satellite radio and subscription, concert tickets from Ticketmaster, a subscription to Rolling Stone, or music downloads from Rhapsody. No purchase required. Go to Heineken.com for details. Responsibly means you must be 21. For more information, please visit EnjoyHeinekenResponsibly.com.
Introducing a breakthrough in dial-up access that lets you surf so fast you'll swear it's broadband. Net Zero High-Speed 3G, the 3rd generation of Internet access.
Plan on arriving early Sunday, July 3rd for a special pregame ceremony. The Cubs will honor Mia Hamm, one of the most celebrated female athletes of all time. The first 20,000 females 18 and under will receive a scratch and win card. 100 random winners will go home with a Mia Hamm U.S. Women's National Team soccer jersey. Compliments of Nike and Gatorade. In addition, Mia will be joined by tomorrow's hopeful soccer stars, and they'll lead the fans in the 7th inning stretch. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Michael Wirtz is on here in the 8th. It's a 2-2 ball game. Wirtz, the 3rd Cubs pitcher today, facing the top of the Brewers order. So Brady Clark leading off an inning for the 3rd time this afternoon. 1 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch. Catches the zone on a slide piece. 0-2.
See the numbers on Michael Wirtz for the season. Unscored upon in 28 of his 37 appearances.
With 2 runs for Milwaukee today. Leadoff home runs, Hall and Overbay. And a base hit to center to start the 8th. So we'll see what Ricky Weeks has up his sleeve with a runner at first and nobody out.
Actually not a bad pitch. Slider right on the outside corner at the knees. Clark just crowding that plate, choked up on the bat, reached out there and punched it into shallow center field. Weeks has not put down a sacrifice bunt yet this season, but this would figure to be a situation where they would attempt to move that runner into scoring position.
Weeks with that Sheffield-like back waggle, but he lays down the bunt. It's a good one. Barehanded by Ramirez. And a close play at first. Walker covering, and a sacrifice for Weeks.
A bunt for a base hit from Ricky Weeks. You mentioned that Gary Sheffield-like bat waggle. That makes it tough for him to actually get out there, square around, and put down a sacrifice bunt, but he does a nice job. It takes a barehanded play by Ramirez to just get him at first.
So the Brewers with a couple of cracks here with their 3 and 4 hitters coming up. Runner at second, 1 out. With a pitch in for a strike. This is game 12 of the season series between these two teams. Left-hander Will Oman is up. Brewers have won 6 of the first 11. The pitch top toward third, but it will kick foul.
Cubs are glad that ball did go foul. That was going to be a tough play for Aramis Ramirez, playing very deep at third base. That little chopper, almost like a swinging bunt. When you give that much territory over there at third base, you'd prefer to see them hit the ball hard in your direction rather than those little choppers.
Look by Wirtz at Clark now to the plate. Up the middle, but Walker is there, and he'll throw to first to retire Hall. So Clark is 90 feet away. There are 2 outs. See how the Cubs decide to work against Carlos Lee, who is hitless in this series, 0 for 6.
A hanging breaking ball did Billy Hall, and just kind of tomahawks it back up the middle of the field, but Todd Walker was shading that direction, just had to move a couple steps to his right to make a relatively routine play.
So they're going to walk Lee. Overbay on deck. We might see Will Oman come in to face the left-handed hitter. Although Overbay hit a home run off a lefty, Glendon Rush, in the 7th.
Well, Overbay is 0 for 2 against Michael Wirtz in his career. Obviously not very much of a sampling. Overbay is 1 for 1 with a single in one at bat against Will Oman. Overbay's a guy that pretty much hits everybody. You look at his numbers on his career, or rather on the season, he is hitting .207 against lefties, .307 against righties, but he's one of those guys throughout his career in the minor leagues and the major leagues has never been a platoon player. He's always faced righties and lefties.
Napi Perez Davis on the mound, along with Michael Barrett and the pitcher Wirtz. Key moment in this one, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. For Milwaukee here in the 8th inning. Here comes Dusty. So it will be the left-hander Will Ullman. Time for the Ford call to the pen. It's 2-2. Brewers threatening with 2 outs here in the 8th.
It's a wonderful world. I'm just walking on air. Talk of heaven on earth. I've got more than my share. Haven't got a care. Happy all day through.
Rico dependability moves your ideas forward. Vacations, too.
Wonderful you.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Kind of thirsty. Let me get something to drink.
Okay, it's in the door. Give me just 1 minute, and then we gotta go. Good.
What's good?
It's all back in my account.
What's all back in your account?
The $600 that was spent when my debit card was stolen.
If your debit card is ever lost or stolen and used,
But you just told the bank yesterday.
we'll put back the missing money
I know.
next business day. That's total security protection. Only from Bank of America. Higher standards.
When beer starts out this cold, it ends up this refreshing. Coors Light.
Well, Lyle Overbay over 300 against righties, just over 200 against lefties, but again he hit the home run off Rush on a swing and a miss, and a Will Ullman slider. Lefties hitting 250 against Ullman.
Now, last year Overbay hit 298 against lefties, 301 against righties. I mentioned he's been an everyday player his entire career. Lefties don't really bother him that much.
1st and 3rd, 2 strikes.
Unless the lefty makes real good pitches. That's what Ullman has done so far in this at bat.
$38,846 in the ballpark today. Here he comes. He struck him out. Slider, slider, slider. Brewers strand a couple to the last of the 8th. It's 2-2 from Wrigley.
Nothing's hotter. Cadillac. Breakthrough. With Cadillac employee discount for everyone. You pay what we pay.
Really worthwhile.
Animals also possess several.
Burnett's deep to center field. This ball is way back. Out of here. Jeremy Burnett with a home run.
Oh, yeah. Are you fan enough? Nobody does baseball better than Comcast Sportsnet. Catch the Cubs all season long. More games, more news, more passion.
Cable TV gives a world of choices to a world of people. Decide what you watch. Control what your kids see. Call your cable company or go to controlyourtv.org to learn more on how to view the right thing.
Time now for the Cadillac Sports Night Update.
Hi everyone, Pat Boyle in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you back to Wrigley in a moment. But first, here's a quick look at what we have for you on Chicago Tribune Live. From wood to woods, we'll break down another busy sports afternoon here in Chicago. You'll hear from Carrie and Tiger. You'll also hear John Daly's country song, All My Exes Wear Rolexes. You don't want to miss that. It's all on Chicago Tribune Live after Cubs postgame live. Let's go back to Len and Bob.
Thanks, Pat. Ronnie Cedeno, his first at bat here in his second stint with the Cubs this year. 2-2 here in the bottom of the eighth, and a hitter's count as he faces Matt Wise. Cedeno, his first major league home run, May 5th at Milwaukee. Solo blast off Gary Glover. 3-0. He was hitting .371 at Iowa. 52 games, 7 home runs, 12 doubles, 30 RBIs. And a leadoff walk. Go-ahead run is on with nobody out.
Possibly the biggest out of the game so far. Will Oman facing one of the Brewers' best offensive players. A slider, and another slider. Last one not even close to the zone. Got the fans fired up, got the Cubs team fired up as they came off the field. Good time to put a run on the board right here.
And it's Patterson at the plate. He's popped out, struck out, walked, and stole a base, and bunts it foul straight back.
Keep it up, boys! Keep it up! Ideally, you want Lyle Overbay to field this bunt. He's holding on Ronnie Cedeno over there first base, is getting a late break toward home plate. Billy Hall already drawn in a third of the way to home plate at third base.
Two strikes on Patterson. Fans let him have it a little bit here. You see the sign right behind him. I know what the fans are doing. The problem is when you put a sign up there like that, if a guy sees it, he's not concentrating, right?
Yeah, he's looking at the sign, yeah.
Just missed inside, 1-2.
Wise missed his spot by about 4.5 feet. You can see Moeller wanted to go up the ladder away with a fastball shoulder high off the outside corner, and he just missed off the inside corner down at the knees.
Cedeno, the runner at first, and a 1-2 to Patterson is popped up shallow center. Long run for Clark. He'll get there. Patterson still hitless in the series. Now Nafi Perez.
Time for his teammates to pick him up here. Corey Patterson unable to get down the sacrifice bunt to move Cedeno into scoring position. Now it's up to Nafi Perez, and ideally Derek Lee gets up there this inning with a runner on base.
We were talking about our conversation with Ryan Dempster before the game today. He said one of the great things about being the closers, when your team takes the lead, he said even if it's early in the ball game, but you know you might get in there, and there's nothing quite like pushing across a go-ahead run in the eighth, and then the closer gets that save opportunity in the ninth. Ryan is out on one of the bullpen mounds. Center field, Clark was playing deep. And he makes a catch for out number 2. Action in the Brewers pen. Derek Lee coming up. Runner at first, 2 outs. And Novoa will pitch the ninth if the Cubs do not get the lead here in the eighth. A single his last time up. That was in the 6th inning against Ben Sheets.
Derek 0 for 4 lifetime against Wise. That just means he's due.
The starters will get no decisions today. Sheets for Milwaukee, Wood for the Cubs. The 0-1. 1-1. He combined 7 hits last night. The Cubs winning 2-0, and combined 11 hits today, and it's 2-2.
Wise either making a perfect pitch or missing in his favor right now. At least so far in this at bat to Derek Lee. Has not made any mistakes in the middle of the plate where he could get hurt. Wise has a real good straight changeup. It's his go-to pitch usually when his back's against the wall. He really needs to make a pitch. Usually he'll go to that straight changeup.
Fastball that time. 2-2. Ricky Weeks is on the second base side of second, shaded toward the middle. Boy, what an eye. Even down 1-2. Derek Lee not afraid to take a pitch that's close. And it's full, so extra base hit is a good chance to score Cedeno, who will get a head start. Runner moving, the 3-2 ground ball to Hardy. Throw to first, will head to the 9th. And it's a 2-2 tie here in game 2 of this series. Brewers and the Cubs.
Hey. Whew. Yeah. You look relaxed for somebody in your condition.
It's because I have Aflac.
What do you mean?
Well, when I'm hurt and miss work,
Aflac gives me cash to help pay bills. My health insurance doesn't. You mean like car payments?
Mm-hmm.
Electric bills?
Mm-hmm.
Or the rent?
Yep. Even food. Chinese is here.
Great. I love duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time-release molecules delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Get a $15 MasterCard gift card when you buy a case of Pennzoil Platinum Motor Oil at Pep Boys.
4-door sedan. 4-door sedan. Oh my.
The stylish Nissan Altima has a higher residual value than Camry LE. So you can lease the Altima for just $199 a month. Check it out.
Hey, this Saturday, July 2nd, the Cubs will play the Washington Nationals during Discount Tire Day, and Busch Series driver Reed Sorensen will make an appearance. Random lucky fans will receive photos of Reed Sorensen, compliments of Discount Tires. Roberto Novoa is on the pitch for the Cubs. Another hot one here in Chicago. Fans trying to keep cool outside the ballpark. And Roberto Novoa trying to keep the Brewers offense cool here today. He'll face Jeff Jenkins, who has struck out 3 times. And for Novoa, this will be his 10th appearance this year.
Novoa in his second go-around with the big league club. Dusty really wanted to keep him when he was here last time. He showed the ability to occasionally miss bats, has a good fastball, moves it around the strike zone. Occasionally his breaking ball can be very effective for him, but Dusty liked the fact that he had enough on his fastball that occasionally he could throw right by a big league hitter.
2 scoreless innings his last time out. That was Saturday on the south side. Ball 1 on Jenkins. He has struck out swinging 3 times. He'll be followed by Hardy and then Mulder.
I really like to see that. Navoa started Jenkins with a breaking ball that bounced at his feet all the way to the backstop, but came right back with another slider, this time for a called strike. So many times a young pitcher will come into the ball game and get scared off of one of his pitches because he doesn't have a real good feel for it. So some of the credit there had to go over to Michael Barrett to call that pitch immediately again. You can see Barrett's trying to settle him down, keep him in the zone. This is with a fastball that time.
Three and 1. Now it's full. Kerry Wood today 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits. 1 run, a solo home run by Bill Hall. And he walked him. So J.J. Hardy be the batter.
4 sack bunts on the season for J.J. Hardy, which figures to be in order right here, unless Ned Yost rolls the dice, plays a little hit and run. I gotta believe Hardy's going to be putting down a bunt.
It's a strike. Rich Donnelly with the semaphoric signs down at third base. Actually didn't give too many signs. It looks like Hardy's job just to lay down a bunt. Everybody knows it in the ballpark. Takes that for ball 1. 1 and 1 on Hardy. That's a good look at it.
A lot of times after the third base coach gives the initial sign, in this example, a sacrifice bunt, there's a spot on his body that's a repeater sign. If I touch my hat, the same thing's still on. If I touch my hat again, it's still on. Ideally, that keeps you away from what your bunt sign really is. And now with 2 strikes, he may take it off and let Hardy go ahead and swing away. He may go back to the repeater sign. He may put the bunt sign back on. And those signs can be as complicated as your player's ability to get them.
And he bunts it foul for the strikeout. So 1 out.
Hardy takes a jab at a breaking ball out over the plate. I mean, that pitch is working its way down to begin with. That seemed to be an easy pitch to bunt if you just keep the bat above the ball. It's already moving toward the ground, but that last second jab out there got the barrel of the bat underneath the ball, and he fouled it off for a strikeout.
So it's going to be Prince Fielder making his Wrigley debut today. He'll bat for Chad Muller, the catcher. Two for 4 with a home run. He had a 3-run homer as a pinch hitter. Saturday, his first career home run off Jesse Crane. Ended up being a game winner. The Brewers ahead that night, and they did not trail again. Boa's pitch, a strike. I'm sure these guys have matched up already at AAA. Good chance of that. Found that one off his foot. Outside 1-2. Nashville and Iowa both in the American North Division of the Pacific Coast League. Nashville leading the division right now. 4 games over. Iowa 6 games under. And on the hands, fouled back. Cubs have had 2 leads today, 1-0 and 2-1, but the Brewers have come back to tie it twice with home runs.
Overthrown his last couple of breaking balls, left him up in a feel for that breaking ball. The fastball really the only one he's consistently thrown around the strike zone.
Fielder likely ticketed to AAA once Russell Brandon comes back. He swings and misses. That's a strikeout. So 2 strikeouts in the inning.
Sometimes a pitcher will try to make a ball do things that physically it can't do. That time Novoa just took a little bit off, got the ball up close to the strike zone. It bottomed out. When it did, Fielder swung right over the top of it.
The pinch hit parade continues. 3rd pinch hitter the last 3 innings for Milwaukee, and it's a switch hitter, Chris Magruder. And the pitch, a strike.
Well, Ned Yost hitting for his catcher Chad Moeller, so Damian Miller will have to come into the ball game. He's now down to Trent Durrington as his only position player available off the bench. There was again that breaking ball. It's like he's trying to make it break 9 feet. Just overthrows it, loses control of it, leaves it high and away to the left-handed hitter.
And the Brewers have not put one in play here in this inning. A walk and 2 strikeouts. One-two pitch. And Magruder stays alive. Looking at the bottom of the 9th for Nitz, Ramirez, and Walker. As you see Sergio Mitre in the Cubs pen. Kick in the 1-2, and Novoa with 3 strikeouts in the inning. Bob said he battled himself a little bit during that inning, but 3 Ks. It's 2-2 to the bottom of the 9th.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, you have that insurance. What insurance? Finland! What? Come again? The one that pays you cash. If you're hurt and can't work. Which one?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Come on, Joe, what's cooking in the kitchen? Yeah. Sirloin steak and shrimp. Juicy top sirloin steak served with your choice of shrimp for only $11.99. Choose from scampi seared, coconut crusted, teriyaki grilled, or golden fried. Only Joe's does steak and shrimp for $11.99. It's steak and shrimp crazy at Joe's Crab Shack. Hurry, create your own steak and shrimp combo for only $11.99. Gotta go eat at Joe's.
The Kraft Eye Institute Cubs upcoming schedule. We're on Comcast Sportsnet again on Friday against the Washington Nationals. What a pitching matchup. The scheduled starters, Livan Hernandez and Mark Pryor. New battery for Milwaukee. Mentioned Damian Miller back at the plate. And he'll catch right-hander Julio Santana. And it's Jeremy Burnitz to start the ninth for the Cubs. It's 2-2. Julio Santana. A week ago Monday went 2 innings in a relief outing, struck out 6 against the Cubs. The 1-0 outside. 2-0.
As you can see, Santana throws very hard. Fastball in the mid to upper 90s. Very similar stuff to Roberto Novoa. Good hard fastball, 4-seamer, and a slider that he will occasionally overthrow.
Kick and the pitch. 3-0. Santana just
not the best body language out there.
A little confused right now about the strike zone. Here he comes. Ball 4. Winning run is on base with nobody out. Mike Maddox is going to walk out. No action right now in the Brewers bullpen. So right now it's Santana's game to try to get it to extras.
Well, this is a visit by Maddox to try to get a return to focus. Borderline pitch. You can see Damian Miller kind of shaking his head. It was close. I think the 2-0 pitch was the one that he was most upset with Mark Carlson behind the plate, but tried to get his big right-hander back in the zone, and if he does throw one in the zone, hopefully Aramis Ramirez will get a good rip at it.
Bill Hall is in at third. But again, this is not the guy you think about bunting. Long pause and now time called by Mark Carlson.
That's a specific sign that comes from the bench. Have your pitcher come to a set position and just hold the ball to see if Ramirez and or Burnitz would tip what was going on in this particular situation. That time, neither Cub showed anything.
And a pitch to Ramirez, popped him up. Going out is Weeks. And he makes a catch, cradles it for the first out.
He got a pretty good pitch to hit, a belt high fastball right down the middle of the plate. Just got underneath it, frustrated with himself for not getting on top and driving that ball. Weeks had some problems with the sun. Ball kind of got back in on his body as he made that catch.
Probably would have gotten it out either way, as Burnitz was barely off first. So it's Todd Walker. A couple of doubles and 3 trips. Scored a run in the second inning.
Walker will be the beneficiary of that big hole in the right side of the infield here. If he can get a pitch from the middle of the plate in, try to hook it through that right side. Hey, you mentioned the Brewers were going to get an out either way there. Even if Weeks drops the ball, they would have forced Burnitz. You'd much rather have Burnitz running than Ramirez.
Brewers outfield, they're all back. I don't want anything to get by them here in this spot with a runner at first. Outside.
This is the no doubles defense. They figure the only thing Burnitz can score on is an extra base hit at this point. So with that in mind, Ned Yost backs his outfielders up several steps to make sure that nothing gets into the gap past the outfielders, allowing Jeremy to come around and score from first base.
One and two. Santana to the belt and to the plate. Bouncer foul.
Steady diet of breaking balls to Todd Walker. Brewers are very familiar with his ability to turn around a fastball. He did it a couple times earlier in the game, back-to-back doubles his first two at bats, both on fastballs from the middle of the plate in.
One, two to Walker outside. Went with a fastball.
More of a show-me pitch than anything else. A 96-mile-an-hour heater off the corner away just to give Todd Walker a speed to gauge on that fastball. Good rip at a mistake right there. Davey Miller wanted that fastball in on the hands of Todd Walker. He left it out over the plate. Todd able just to get a piece of it, foul it straight back.
Cubs trying to walk off with a win today. 2-2 bottom of the ninth. Runner at first, one out. So how aggressive do you want to be in this spot? 3-2 on Todd Walker.
I think he's going to send Jeremy Burnitz. Todd Walker doesn't strike out a lot. Santana is basically a two-pitch pitcher. Todd Walker's seen everything he has to offer in this at bat. And they may attempt a pickoff throw before delivering the full count pitch. Adding that third pitch to a pitcher's arsenal makes all the difference in the world in this particular situation. Given the fact we've only seen two different pitches from Santana up to this point, I think Walker should be able to at least put it in play or foul it off.
Burnitz is on the move. Line left center. Clark will not make the catch. And burst at second. Burnitz had to hold up because he wasn't sure if Clark was going to hold on to it. Good effort by Brady Clark, but he could not haul it in. So Walker with his third hit today, first and second.
A very lucky break for the Brewers. A nice effort, as you mentioned, by Brady Clark. The diving attempt smothers that ball, keeps it underneath his body, and keeps it in front. If that ball gets behind, Burnitz has a chance of coming all the way around from first base and scoring. He was on the move, then he had to hit the brakes, then he sees the ball on the turf, and all he can do is go ahead and stand on second base. But if that ball gets behind Brady Clark, there's nobody to back up that play in straight center field.
Well, Todd Hollinsworth with a walk-off single in the 12th inning on Derek Turnbull on April 10th against Milwaukee here at Wrigley. Hit. Burnitz around third. Here's the throw to the plate. And the Cubs win. Hollinsworth gets it done Holland, his second RBI today, and the Cubs win 3-2. I was just going to mention the guy who scored that winning run on April 10th was Jeremy Burnitz. Well, he scores a winner today. How about the left-handed hitters in this inning? Burnitz, Walker, and Hollandsworth.
Cubs finding ways to win ball games behind the great starting pitching of Kerry Wood. A nice job by the bullpen. And Hollandsworth just fighting off a fastball into shallow center field. Burnitz with a great jump off of second base. The throw home to no avail. A big win right there for the Cubs. See the throw coming to home plate offline and late. Burnitz scores without a slide.
Novoa the win, Santana the loss. Mitch Robinson is standing by with the hero in the ninth.
Thanks a lot. In April, you did it to them with a walk-off hit. Here you get 2 RBIs in this game and a huge hit just now.
Well, I mean, we're battling. The pitching did it again. Woody came back and was fabulous. The bullpen did a great job, and we're just getting some timely hits right now.
You even come through with a stolen base.
Yeah, no, it's part of my game. I pick my spots, but I mean, it's there, and we try to create some offense. You can't always bomb, and it is part of our our arsenal. But at the same time, trying to create some runs is also part of it too.
4 in a row with Woody back, with Pryor back in the rotation, and then the arms that you have in the bullpen. You starting to feel it now?
Well, I think we are. I mean, we're feeling good about ourselves. We got a nice homestand going right now, and we just want to get W's and finish up strong before the All-Star break, and try to put some separation, get back in the in our divisional race, and at the same time gain ground in the wild card.
Congratulations, Todd. Great hit. Thanks a lot. All right, a huge win for the Cubs. Let's go back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios.
All right, Mitch, thank you very much. The left-hander's getting it done for the Cubs. We're hoping to get a left-hander to get it done for us. Dan Plesac is standing by with Josh Moore for a little thing we call Cubs Post-Game Live. That is followed by Chicago Tribune Live. Coming up on that show, Brandon McCarthy. He was brilliant in his Major League debut at Wrigley, but he has faltered since. He's allowed 6 runs in each of his last 2 starts. He'll try and rebound against the Tigers tonight. We'll have a preview from Detroit. Our Gail Fisher continues to travel a lot.